Martinsville. I love the fans here at Martinsville. They're always pumped up. Once we get this thing dry, we're going to put on a show.
And tell me about one last thing, and I'm trying to be serious today. The hair in this weather, is it doing like you hope? Hanging in?
How's it look?
Looks pretty, I'd say it looks very intimidating to the competition. I see hair.
Oh yeah, that track looks pretty dry. Track's looking pretty dry at this point.
You drive for the Wood Brothers.
And it looks like we're getting ready to go.
It's amazing. I was at Stewart, and on Wednesday, got to see the whole museum. Got to drive David Pearson's car that was going to drive before the race, but the rain kind of put a hammer to that. So,
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Is everybody ready for some racing?
go get a good run.
Because I sure as hell am.
Break down the action last night. What did you think about Sam Myers?
So we had just a little bit of a short delay. Drivers are being called to their cars, and the command is set to be given at 8:20. So we'll be racing pretty soon.
I'm just a fan of racing, so it's pretty fun for me to just get behind and watch those guys go to work. That's a tough series. I just came out of it, and those guys get after it.
Do you ever think?
What's up, Jaden? You ready?
Wood Brothers. This has got to be the coolest thing in the world.
It is, and
So yeah, like I said, we had a short delay. Tempers will be high. If it's anything like last night, yes, they will. Dude, last night is a night I'm going to remember for a long time.
Well, have fun racing.
Like, holy shit.
Down here, Shannon. The track is drying. The teams are excited. There's a lot of.
That's one of the best races I've ever. I mean, well, no, it was one of the stupidest races I've ever seen.
There you have it.
But I loved every second of it.
I'm gonna have a fun time down here on pit road watching these guys.
Take me over there, Michael. Let's see how dry this racetrack is. Can you go over the
Okay,
track?
come with me.
and
Yeah,
let's
I
see-
love that.
I knew what you were doing there, Michael, by the way. You being serious about the meteorologist and the serious stuff with Ross Chastain. I don't think he got it.
It's looking pretty good. Yeah, it's looking dry.
Yeah, track's looking pretty dry. Drivers are being called to their cars, and the command is set to be given at 8:20. So that is 16 minutes from now. And we'll be racing pretty soon. So no harm, no foul. Just wait another hour, and we'll, you know, all we had to do is wait another hour.
Generally is a drier system, and therefore enabling the team here at
Good evening, Samuel. It is Saturday night racing, race night in America. Hell yeah, it is.
Eat your heart out.
See, the shitty thing is that tomorrow is the one Sunday I agreed to work. Like, I don't work Sundays, I don't. But tomorrow is the one Sunday I agreed to work, and then we get a rain delay. Like, if this thing were to get pushed back, which it's not, but if it were, I would have been pissed.
I'm with Ross.
I would have called out. I'm not gonna miss NASCAR for anything, but it would have been awkward,
Time now for a little.
you know.
No meteorology, no weather. It's actually hit the gas, pump the brakes. And we will go with this one first. Brad Keselowski makes the playoffs. We talked earlier in the show how he got hit with that penalty, 100 points.
Tonight's race only 400 laps, 100 laps shorter than it's always been. This race is always 500 laps, so I like it. I like that they decided to shorten this race to 400 laps. That way, it makes the fall race more special, you know.
We have a Daytona coming up, but I just don't know if it's going to happen the way the situation they're in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I'd love to see the Bristol Spring Race if they ever bring that back to, like, you know, the normal Bristol. I'd love to see them change that to 400 laps too. It just makes the other event more special.
Daytona 500 earlier this year. I think you'll see a little more drive out of him at those type tracks because that's going to be where he has to get it done at.
Might be a little mad too, right? He wants to go out there and do it. All right, Stewart Haas Racing gets to 2 wins before Joe Gibbs Racing. What do you think? Of course, Joe Gibbs getting their first win last week.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the gas on this as well. I think back to Chase Briscoe winning at Phoenix earlier this year. We saw Kevin Harvick run second at Phoenix last weekend. It seems like all the Stewart Haas cars are starting to run a little bit better. So I'm going to stick with, I'm going to stick with them.
Oh.
Yeah, this is probably a tough one to really say, but I will pump the brakes. Now, if I look at the qualifying sheet, I've got this totally wrong because Stewart Haas Racing have 3 in the top 10, Joe Gibbs Racing, they have 1. But I just believe these tracks we're coming up on right now, they're going to just continue to fall right in Joe Gibbs Racing's playhouse, even though we've got this new car.
Who do you think will win tonight's race? I think Truex wins. I hope he doesn't. I hope Martin Truex Jr. doesn't win, but I think he's going to. He does start 20th, though, so he does have some work to do.
It's great to see Kevin Harvick running up front last week.
My man Kyle Busch starting in 11th tonight.
before Kevin
Not
Harvick.
bad.
Both of these guys,
Not
Martinsville winners.
good,
Joey
but not
does have a
bad.
win at Bristol, where we're going next week. Larry, what do you say?
This one is so tough. Can I cover both sides and say pump the gas?
Or hit the brake, hit the gas?
I'm gonna hit the gas.
His own joke. That's so good.
I'm going to hit the gas. You know, I look at some of these tracks that were coming up. The Bristol Dirt Race next week, Talladega. I think Kevin and them, they are close, but I think Joey's going to find it first. I don't think it's going to be tonight, but I think Joey finds it first.
Yeah, I'm going to pump the brakes on this one. I just talked about Harvick running second last weekend at Richmond, and where it looks like Stuart Haas is right now. Some good tracks coming up for Kevin Harvick, Rodney Childers. I think we might see him get to victory lane first.
All right, speaking of the track, let's head back out there. Mike, Clint, and Chad to see how things are going out there with track drying efforts. Guys, take it away.
Well, Clint's been hitting the gas, but we have had Martinsville hot dogs in the booth, so that happens. Now, the new car, the next-gen car, first appearance at all these tracks, including the half-mile Martinsville Speedway. How does it measure up to the car we used to race? We're going to show you Clint's fastest lap from his last race here in 2020 and Chase Elliott's pole lap from yesterday and compare them.
Yeah, check this out. It's amazing. For me, right off the bat, look how much harder he can get in the corner. Rolls into the corner way faster, gets the thing rotated and back to the gas. It tells me this thing has 1.5 inches more tire underneath of it, more braking. So you always have to get in the corner hard. If you
See, I don't like this little graphic that they showed right here because they're showing a graphic between Chase Elliott's qualifying lap yesterday and Clint Bowyer's fastest lap from the race in 2020. When you run in a race, your lap times are significantly slower than you are in qualifying. So,
along with the larger rear
I don't like
tire and
that.
larger front tire, it just gives the car more fundamental grip. We've always talked about the underwing on these race cars and how it generates downforce, right? So you're able to get that speed, get that downforce, and go a little bit faster.
That was an impressive lap for 2020.
There's one
and you
more...
were really competitive here.
Yeah, I love this racetrack. A lot of fun here. You know, one of my favorite wins that I ever had with the family aspect. It's the fans that are just so close to the action. Great memories here. Always love this place. But the other aspect of this, there was shifting. That's what we're going to see a lot of. It's going to be the name of the game today or tonight for all these drivers, and I think that was a big part of how fast.
You're watching my live stream tonight from Ridgeway, Virginia? That's where the race is.
Fourth gear in play.
Are you at the race tonight?
I wonder how many hot dogs Clint Boyer has eaten this weekend out at
He
Martinsville.
don't look like a hot dog.
No,
I
you don't
he
think
never
so?
stops talking.
Beer and hot dog, Clint. How about that? A little beer and a little hot dog.
Terrible joke, Mike. Terrible joke.
That was funny.
Has had a hot dog or two in it. That's not today.
They're good.
You better watch. You got a long night up there with him tonight, Clint. Long night. Thanks, guys. We'll check back in a few minutes.
Oh, so I bought a new fog machine. It's not here yet, but it's
You know
coming.
what? Listen, one of the
Because my fog machine doesn't work.
all season long, of course, is Trackhouse Racing.
Hey, signing in. What time is the green flag? So the green flag was supposed to be about 20 minutes ago, but we have a rain delay. But the drivers are being called to their cars right now, and the command is supposed to be given at 8:20. Green flag, I'd assume, is probably 5-10 minutes after that. So we'll be racing in no time.
Let's start with your starting position, however. I know it's a long race. I know that there's a lot that can happen in this race, but you are starting all the way back in the field in 30th. Your thoughts and your game plan, Daniel.
Hello, Shannon. I hope you're doing amazing. I'm super cold here. Maybe you can tell, but I'm shaking a little bit. But no, I mean, talking a little bit about racing. My car is actually, it's been pretty fast. It hasn't been handling great, but it's been fast. And I'm happy with that. We just have to make the car handle a little bit better. Hopefully, we already made some adjustments from yesterday for today, and see what we got. But honestly, I'm confident of what we got, and I think we're going to be able to pass.
Engines are expected to be fired at 8:25
So,
p.m.
Daniel,
All right,
you
so
made 10 starts at Martinsville. You got a couple of top 10 finishes. I know you never raced there in the Xfinity Series, but what's the first thing you thought when you saw this little half-mile paperclip racetrack with concrete corners?
Honestly, it just different than everything else I have run. You know, in obviously growing up in Mexico, we have some short tracks in Mexico, but everything is different. Everything is very bumpy over there, and quite different than here. But it's been different. I really learned that obviously braking zones are extremely important. People say that if you are good,
It's 48 degrees at Ridgeway, Virginia tonight. Yeah, it's a pretty cold night down there.
You're gonna be fine in Martinsville, and I had come to realize that, even though that it has taken me some time. But yeah, you know, it's been a fun time here in Martinsville in the past. I feel like I have had great cars. I have had bad cars as well, and I honestly feel, even though that we're starting deep in the field, I feel like we have a good one for tonight.
Hey, amigo, first off, I gotta say, as soon as you came on, we all started smiling because your enthusiasm, your excitement, it's contagious among all of us up here. So it's great to see that you're having a good time. I want to go back just a couple of races to COTA, the last road course race. You lead every lap in the first stage. It looks like you've got the car to beat. Obviously, you get a flat on the next restart. You then have some power steering issues. But your teammate, Ross Chastain, wins. Was it bittersweet, though, to know that you probably had the car to beat and then for your teammate to go on and win?
You know, it was a very, very tough weekend for me, because on Saturday we were, in my opinion, probably one of the best cars, if not the best car. On Sunday, the same thing. A lot of people didn't know this until now, but we started having steering issues in the middle of the
Not
season.
long until we
So we
racing
were in
here.
the race, and we were already having issues with the steering. And even with those issues, I thought we were going to be fine. That's why
Bear with us, guys. We're going to race it pretty soon.
To be able to get some point, just in case.
Was this pre-race show better than last week at Richmond? Yeah. I mean, I've always enjoyed like the rain delay coverage of pre-race shows. I always enjoyed just the interviews with all the drivers and everything during the rain delays. You really get to, you know, get a look into their routine at the racetrack, and I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I always like, I don't like rain delays, but I always like rain delay coverage.
They had a fast car as well, and they were able to do everything correct to make it happen.
So Daniel, I heard a man say one time that
Tonight's low in Richmond, Virginia is 32 degrees. Ridgeway, Virginia. Yeah, that's actually where the race is. It says it's at Martinsville, but it's actually Ridgeway, Virginia.
A lot of them talk the talk. They talk about how they're pulling for their teammates. But I get a feeling at Trackhouse Racing, it's truly one team fielding two cars. But I think that's what Justin Marks has kind of mandated. This is the way we're going to operate.
Yeah, honestly, Larry, it's been such a pleasure to be part of this journey with Trackhouse Racing since the very beginning, because I have seen the plan since it was only on paper, and then it started to become reality, and now here we are with a strong organization of two cars working together. I enjoy a lot working with Ross and with Phil, his crew chief, and his entire team. We share a lot of information.
71 in Southern California.
And at the same time, obviously, we're very competitive, so we want to also try to keep pushing each other to keep getting better. So it's been a lot of fun, and really looking forward to keep pushing ourselves.
You know, Daniel, every driver team has certain tracks or favorite tracks that they feel like they're going to either run well at or win at. What, coming at like the schedule ahead, what tracks do you have circled that you think that's the place we could get our win? I know you ran well at the Bristol Dirt Track, which you said was a little bit of a surprise, but where do you see the 99 team maybe being able to get to victory lane?
You know, Jamie, something good about our team right now is that I feel like we're strong most of the places that we go. Richmond was, I would say, that the first race that we actually didn't have a lot of speed, but everywhere else, I feel like we've been good. Over the road course races, I feel like we're going to be extremely strong based on our performance in COTA. But
in COTA? I love how you said that. I love my man Daniel Suarez.
Somehow. So you never know. I feel like we just have to keep a positive mindset, keep working very hard, keep pushing ourselves, and the wins are going to come. I have no doubt about that.
I don't see your teeth chattering anymore, but I do want to tell you that it's 82 degrees in Monterey right now, just in case you were wondering.
Let me tell you that
really?
My Coke is not cold. This is very warm, and you see?
Look, you got the sponsor.
Suarez needs a win. I'd love to see him get a win. Honestly, like, I could see him get a win tonight. I mean, he starts all the way in 30th, so he's got a lot of work to do, but I don't know. I don't think it's too far out of the realm of possibility for old Danny.
and they really have started off on not only the right foot once, but twice.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of pleasant surprises about 2022, but I would probably have to put that one at the top of the chart. When you think about where they were last year, a single car team, kind of getting their arms around a car that was going to be going away, and then they change shops, they add a second team, they have to deal with this next-gen car, and to see how both of those teams and both of those drivers have performed has been just sort of miraculous. But I still believe that they buy into the resources they have. They buy into the tools that are at their disposal, and they are truly working together.
Yeah, I was over there a couple weeks ago. I interviewed Ross after he won at COTA. And I asked those guys, I'm like, what do you think has been different this year? Even there's the Ganassi group and the Trackhouse group that have merged. I'm like, what's been different this year than maybe last year? Why are you having this success? And I felt like everyone, they didn't know the answer to that. But then one of the guys stepped up and he's like, we're not focused on anybody else. And over the years, if HMS is running well, or if it's Penske, you're taking pictures of their cars, or you're in the garage, and you're always a few weeks behind because you see the shiny new object, and then you go back and you try to build that. And he's like, we're just focused on our program right now, and they have a really good group of people. And I think that Justin, Ty Norris, that whole group, they've changed the culture over there, and they all get along really well, and that's a huge part of this.
That reminds me so much of what Jimmy and Chad used to say when they were running. It doesn't matter what anybody else does. It only matters what we are doing, and of course they had a lot of success, and a lot of success at Martinsville. A place, obviously, that you have to have a little aggressive nature to get some victories. Tempers run high. Another guy who knows a lot about that is Denny Hamlin.
Pushing is coming to shoving.
I see who's coming for me. I usually don't see him, so it's usually not a fact. That's just so mad. I'm okay with wrecking for the lead on the white flag lap.
So this is a ticket to Homestead, and I tried to move him out of the way and spun out. You don't need to push me and run away like a little... I wanted to win. These fast guys here for wins. Just an absolute hack.
Just an absolute hack.
Earlier was like Michael doing Sam, doing Denny, doing Joey with the whole short track racing thing.
Right.
But it's true. I mean, this is one track that I always have circled on the calendar because you just know that it's going to fill up your highlight reel.
Yeah, and it's great that we use Denny right there because he's been involved more than most at this. Yeah, obviously
but he's won 5 times.
Short track, and that's why he's been involved in all those because he's been able or had a car capable of winning many more races than he did, and had that maybe taken away in a last lap incident.
Yeah, there's a little restaurant just up the highway before you get to Martinsville called Clarence's. We would always stop there and eat breakfast, and I would tell the drivers I was working with,
Bristol next week? Yeah, Bristol Dirt next week. I'm excited.
Let's leave them here at Clarence's, and we'll pick them back up when we leave here, because if we take them over inside that racetrack, they're probably going to get hurt.
Watch the Long Beach IMSA race. How was that?
Blanche. Clarence's restaurant, you're welcome right there. We got a little shout out. Let's do our race picks. Why don't we? Got a little time before we head trackside. Who's going first? Jamie, you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the guy that won the truck race on Thursday night, William Byron. I think that he came close to winning last week at Richmond. Obviously, pit strategy was just a little bit off. Denny Hamlin was able to get the win. I just think
drivers are in their cars.
I don't think it's a surprise either. He's
They're getting strapped in, ready to go. And we should be getting the command to start engines any moment now.
You know what? I like the fact the last 2 years we've had to make our picks with no practice.
And then we should be racing.
I watch practice very
Obviously, they'll have to dry pit road, so that'll take a few minutes. But we'll be racing within no time.
See, we should have had you talk right before.
And do we have any more rain in the forecast?
Hey, I'm going to go Martin Truex Jr. because I think Michael Waltrip said you can't spell Martinsville without Martin.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I mean, it's in there. So that's going to be my driver to win today. 3-time winner at the track. I know he didn't sound a ton of confidence.
He didn't sound optimistic.
He didn't, but it's a long race, 400 laps. We'll see what happens. Speaking of racing, drivers are in their car. Those helmets are on. So let's go trackside for command to start engines.
My friends, hear me now. It's go time. It's go time. It's go, no go, lock and load, love him and leave him, smoke him if you got him, see him, wanna see on the other side. Time. It's time for the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 400. And now, please welcome your Grand Marshal, Whit Blattner. Drivers, start your engine!
Oh, man, I love that. That man was hyped. That man was hyped and ready to go.
I don't know what that first guy said, but I like it. friends. We're going to go racing under the lights, coming back here on FS1.
I gotta pee real quick before we go green.
I love my new home. I always wanted a house with historic architecture, but it might be too Victorian.
Hey, gosh, interesting headline on this. Pants?
Yes, I do believe they're called pants.
Pardon me.
No, pardon me. At least Geico makes bundling my home and car insurance easy. I save so much.
I have come to call upon...
Just text me while I'm heading up.
It's a ghost.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
It's called self-care.
Welcome to the future.
Hi, Sheena the dog.
Required. But if there's one thing this
Who's a
country
good girl?
has always embraced, it's a challenge. And after almost 120 years of building for those challenges, we're taking the vehicles you know by name and making them electric. By revolutionizing the way they're built and where they're assembled. Not for the few, but for the many.
Applebee's Irresistibles are back, now starting at $8.99. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Plain aspirin could be hurting your stomach. Basilor 325 liquid-filled aspirin capsule is clinically shown in a 7-day study to cause fewer ulcers than immediate-release aspirin. Basilor, the first liquid-filled aspirin capsule.
There's soccer on regular Fox. Really? They're showing soccer instead of NASCAR?
This racetrack is called the Half Mile of Mayhem. Racing under the lights in Martinsville, Virginia.
This track will test a driver's skills.
Short track racing is fun.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 400 on FS1 at the little short track that thinks it's a super speedway in Henry County, Virginia. Wonderful place. And
This could be a late night, guys, so strap in, be prepared.
The race length is less than
Get your
5
monsters.
classes, a 400 lapper tonight. But still, with Chad Knaus and Clint Boyer, I'm Mike Joy, and the story is always brakes.
I'm telling you, if you want to get that grandfather clock this weekend, you are going to have to pay attention to your brakes. Corner entry here is so treacherous right now with these bigger brakes. Guys are having a very difficult time locking up the left front tire. The left front tire is very lightly loaded on corner entry here. These guys are blocking up the brakes, sliding up the track. On restarts, this is going to be a critical aspect of the race.
Now let's add something new. Shifting.
Yeah, Chad, I'm picking up what you're putting down, but I'm telling you, folks, shifting's the name of the game with this car. Fourth gear to third gear. Fourth gear is high gear. Watch this as he downshifts into the corner. Austin Cindric gets in the corner, hits that downshift, and look how bad it upset that car. I think somebody will spin out getting into the corner because of a downshift gone wrong. The flip side of that is, as you can adjust, you hit that downshift, that thing gets loose getting into the corner, you'll see them adjust inside the car, roll that thing off into the corner, make sure it's stable, and then downshift. A lot of different ways to use that shifting for your advantage here at Martinsville tonight.
So, in all your engineering and all your simulations, did you plan for that?
We didn't. We thought it was a possibility. Obviously, leading up to this weekend, we all talked about shifting. Phoenix, Richmond, a lot of the racetracks we've gone to, it's a real thing. As you start to get tire degradation, you want to try to get that RPM up. But the thing it's really
What did you just say?
Tire degradation, tire fall off.
Does that come
tire
from
fall off?
1,600 shifts around here
Tire
tonight?
fall off.
1,600 of them
Here's
things.
the thing. Everybody thinks that's for acceleration here around Martinsville is why you're going to want to downshift. Not necessarily the case. You also want that because it's going to help your car rotate through the center of the corner.
That's a much better understanding.
that?
I'd like to be patient. I can understand that tire dig, whatever.
Well,
I
can
think
you
it means
understand what happened
tire
here
wear.
last night? 250-lap Xfinity race.
Holy cow.
And it all came down to the finish on the narrow straightaway here.
Bateman back in that.
Sam Mayer's going for that $100,000 bonus in the one. He rubs up Ty Gibbs, moves him out of the way, as Gibbs himself has done several times this year. And Gibbs goes after him and lands a couple of haymakers, giving both Mayer and Ty Gibbs about an hour visit with the NASCAR officials in the hauler after the race. After, of course, they were separated.
That race over-delivered from start to finish. I didn't think they were ever going to get that thing done. At one point, I looked down and I think every car was in a wreck.
Oh, by the way, Brandon Jones won the race.
And did a good job.
All right, cars are rolling off. They're gonna have to drive pit road, and then we'll be going.
In his final Cup season, Tampa, Florida's Eric Almirola has been making some noise. Started the season with a bunch of top 10 finishes in a row, and now he comes to Martinsville, and he's on the outside pole.
Sure is. Let's dial him up. Hey, Eric Almirola, it's Boyer and the boys up in the Fox Sports booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. I got you, buddy.
How about you now? Great night yesterday in practice, qualifying on the front row. Tell me what you have for a hot rod and what you expect here tonight.
I feel pretty good about it. Our Smithfield Ford Mustang was really good in practice. We ran 50 laps straight, and it did all the things I needed to do for Martinsville. It rolled the middle pretty good.
It's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Open up your eager eyes, 'cause I'm Mr. Brightside.
Than we ever have been at Martinsville, and this is already a pretty busy place, but I felt pretty good about it.
Sheena, who's a good girl?
Brought me a hot rod, so we'll see.
You're my baby.
Saturday night short tracking under the lights. It's going to be fun.
Well, man, as a teammate, you've always been good.
So, after about a 45-minute delay, we're going to go racing.
Thank you, bud.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's starting grid, sponsored by Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief.
Winval! What's up, man? How you doing, Andy?
Starting on the pole, looking for his first win of the season. Almirola top 10 in half of the last 6 races here. Chevy Ford front
You
row.
strapped in, ready to go racing? See some racing? It's going to be a late night, but hey,
And Chris Buescher finished the Martinsville best
it's worth it. It's NASCAR, baby.
Row 3, William Byron won the truck race here Thursday, top 10 in 4 of the last 5 here. And last week's runner-up, Kevin Harvick in a Ford. Row 4, Christopher Bell, leading Toyota on the grid, top 10 in the last 2 races. And Kyle Larson, Martinsville's the only short track he's not won at in the Cup Series. Row 5, Brad Keselowski in a Ford, 2-time Martinsville winner, and rookie Todd.
My friend's stream is sad now. He spoke up about his problems and people are shitting on him.
You'll see Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney in row 6, and the rest of the field along the bottom of your screen. And here's the rest of our team, ready to bring you late-breaking stories, beginning with our birthday girl, Jamie Little.
Hey, Mike, thanks so much. Yes, I've had about as much fun this weekend as William Byron. He won the Truck Series race on Thursday night, and then on Friday, qualified his Cup car 5th for this race. Now, all eyes have been on the 24 and the Hendrick cars as a whole. A great pace, a lot of speed in these cars. I talked to Rudy Fugel, his crew chief, and he said, hey, if he can take care of his equipment tonight, everything from the gearbox.
Remember I showed you that tweet? Yeah, I remember.
Shot at going to victory lane. Regan Smith.
Well, Jamie, every time we come to Martinsville, Martin Truex Jr. is one of the guys to watch. 3 wins in the last 5 races here and very strong. But it's been a different story for this team this weekend. They've struggled to get this race car to Martin's liking, to get it through the corners the way that he likes to get through the corners at this racetrack, to have speed. They made what adjustments they could prior to this race tonight. But if he's going to get that 4th win out of 6 races, Martin is going to have to be up on the wheel and perfect all night long. Larry McReynolds?
Well, Regan, Chad, and Mike, Clint may not know what tire degradation is, but he complained about it severely for about 15 years. Martinsville will challenge everything about the race team and about the race car.
We had about 10 people get banned from the stream due to them saying, quit the stream and huff yourself. Oh my god,
what I'm
dude.
looking at,
those stage lengths, 80, 120, 180, and 220. Now, a fuel window is about 150 to 155 laps, so we don't have to worry about fuel in the first two stages. But if you're back in the pack, you're struggling for track position, you may try to pit off sequence and get that track position. That's actually what won the truck race on Thursday night and Xfinity Series race last night.
Thanks, but it's just the price I paid.
The track is dry. There is the possibility of more rain in the forecast tonight. So NASCAR's policy is an official race is half the total distance or the end of stage 2, whichever comes first, and in this case, lap 180 would be the end of stage 2.
Oh, okay, so we don't have to go to halfway, I guess.
Be done tonight. You're gonna ride along
I don't know, I still don't like that. I feel like it should be halfway no matter what.
Starting 6th tonight. Kevin's definitely one to watch tonight. As you go and you look at Blaney starting in 12th position. I think he's always had the short run speed here, but I don't think we saw it in practice as much as what we maybe thought.
The Penske cars have always been fast here. You know, even with the two car we talked about, Brad Keselowski, when he was in that car, they always had success here. I'm looking forward to watching Austin Cindric because we're rode along with him a lot yesterday. Loved what I saw with the shifting aspect of that. It just didn't have the speed, to your point, Chad, that we're always accustomed to here. So maybe they made some adjustments.
You know, and looking,
he's depressed.
I watched them in practice, and I know I said it last week, and unfortunately they had a mechanical issue with their ECU.
People want him to jump off Mount Everest.
Many laps down trying to repair.
Honestly, if he can climb Mount Everest, that's pretty impressive.
You already jinxed him last week.
I know, I'm sorry, Kurt, but your lap times looked really good yesterday, and I think you got a shot to get up there and run for this thing.
I agree with you. I think both of those 2311 cars were fast. Bubba Wallace was fast. Talked to him in his interview. Had a lot of confidence as a race car. I think they're going to have a good night. I agree with you.
36-car field. A.J. Allmendinger did not get to qualify, so he will start out back. Here's today's Ford track facts. Now, how about this? Here's the highest finishing Ford in every race this season, and note there are no repeaters. 2 victories, Austin Cindric at Daytona, Chase Briscoe at Phoenix, but the highest finishing Ford has been a different driver every single week. Who's next?
That's interesting.
Larry brakes have always been the story for every.
Bobby Gordon had his 13-year-old son win in Super Trucks against him. That's pretty fucking sick.
And teams focus on every time we come to Martinsville, regardless of what type of car we come with, because of these long straightaways into those U-turns. So let's go to our Ford cutaway car, and let's show you something about brake temperatures. What you're going to see is this huge brake package inside that 18-inch rim. And, of course, you've got different components. You've got the rotors. You've got the calipers. You've got the pads. Look at this right here. Caliper, 450 degrees Fahrenheit. The rotor, 1,150 degrees Fahrenheit. And the brake pad, over 1,700 degrees. Now, I know that sounds hot, but we have learned these brakes need this type of heat in them to operate. We've been hearing a lot about brake shake because they don't get them hot enough, but one of the brake guys told me this week shouldn't be a problem here because the
What's up, Tabular Bike? How you doing, my man?
Short straightaways, they look long when you're standing atop this racetrack because of those tight U-turns at either end. What a great shot this is.
It is, and I can tell you tonight you're going to definitely see those rotors glowing. You know, we saw some guys put together 30, 40, 50 lap runs in practice yesterday. And Clint, when I was standing down at turn 3 watching these cars roll around the racetrack, they're already getting red hot, and I can see that in the middle of the day. So definitely tonight under the lights, these guys get into a 25, 30 lap run, you're going to see some high rotor temps.
That's not the only thing you're going to see out of these cars. Flames out of both sides. A lot of color tonight. Fire on the brakes, out of the pipes. Love what I see.
Well, you still have a chance to win $5,000 of Clint's cash. Play Fox Bet Super 6. And all you need to do is scan the QR code now, download the Super 6 app, and enter your picks about today's race for a free shot of your share at the jackpot. And here are the questions, including question 6, best finish by drivers who have not yet won at Martinsville.
I think this is a great opportunity to have some fun with us. I'm telling you, Fox Bet Super 6, free download. Get on there, put your picks in, come and get it.
Over $80,000 of Clint's cash going this season to you folks for your correct guesses.
I need a ride home, Chad. Which is not good. I just asked the guy that bummed a ride with Jeff Gordon on the helicopter here. So, man, maybe you think Quinn can ride, huh?
Hey, man. Maybe we'll dial up Gordon here in a little bit and see what he's up to. He's down on pit road somewhere getting cold.
Love to look at the 12 car this weekend. That pace
I'm doing pretty good.
How about we dial up?
I'm hoping Kyle Busch can have a good run tonight. He needs it. Yeah, he does.
And listen in.
I think he will.
A whole lot of people here watching some race tonight, so let's have some fun and kick some butt. Thank you guys for working really hard. I've had a really good few weeks, so let's keep it up.
And that Willie B paint scheme is pretty sick.
Chase Elliott has elected the inside.
I tell you what, we heard William Byron right there, excuse me, but that car, if you want to talk about a mean-looking paint scheme, that Raptor paint scheme on William Byron's car, he better be aggressive, because that car sure looks like it, eating up the competition.
Yeah, we talked about it. His confidence right now is soaring. He's been spending his off time running some late models.
Can we go?
Late model he's running this week, Clint. You know, that's really great for William. Obviously getting prepared to go run Bristol. He is really starting to attack this. He and Rudy, their communication is at such a high level. And man, he's bringing home trophies. And if you can bring home a trophy, when you wake up in the morning and you see that, you're immediately going to feel like that you're going to go faster the next weekend. So he's doing a great job along with that whole 24 team, honestly.
75 years of racing at Martinsville Speedway, one of NASCAR's original tracks. Red Byron won here in 1949 when this track was new. Lee Petty, 3 wins in the 1950s. His son Richard got 8 in the 1960s and 7 more in the 70s. Wow. In the 80s, there was DW with 9 Martinsville victories. In the 90s, Rusty Wallace scored 5 times. And in the 2000s, hey Chad, you and Jimmy Johnson with 6 wins. And in this decade, so the 10s, a tie, Martin Truex in the 20s, 2 wins so far.
Can we get the one to go, for fuck's sakes?
Oh, easy, boy. Don't forget how you got home.
That helicopter may not stop at your house tonight, but they will open the door for you.
9 times.
It isn't a good car scheme. I think that paint scheme is beautiful.
Spread out a little bit more.
I tell you what, just all the names on that list. A legendary racetrack, a racetrack that is so hard to tame. The discipline it takes to get around this place. And man, I tell you, from Jeff Gordon and Jimmy coming in and learning from guys like Jeff Gordon, DW before then, the guys that can get it done at this racetrack, in my opinion, were some of the best race car drivers this sport's ever had.
For most of its history, Martinsville was host to the Grand Nationals, which is now the Cup Series, and the Modifieds, and the late model Sportsman, which became the Busch Series and is now Xfinity. Martinsville's all-time winningest driver, Richmond, Virginia's Ray Hendricks with...
It's shit. It's just a test car with a little greenish yellow. Why are they double file if they aren't going to go green? I don't know, man.
7 races, 7 different faces. Does that streak continue?
Because they're stupid.
I think you get another winner. I do. I don't think I think a lot of those guys are definitely capable, but I think this track really lends itself to the aggressive nature.
Pete Alonso, grand slam.
Try to get their first big
Love to see it.
I honestly, if my money's going on race cars, them cars on the front row, I know that's such an obvious answer, but I'm telling you, don't sleep on 10 and Eric Almirola. I said it in an interview there, and I'm telling you, this is one of his best racetracks. He's always got around here good, and I think that 9 car is the heat this weekend. Was so fast yesterday in practice.
New sponsor there. Well, not new. They've been with the Henry.
If there's another rain delay, I think they're going to delay it till tomorrow. I don't know.
Talk about delivering for a sponsor. You know, a local sponsor.
Just depends on how long it is. It's like if we lose the track, or if it's like it's clear that we're not going to be able to go back racing tonight, then yeah, maybe. But
that's my pick tonight. I got to go.
Like if it's just another short delay, I think we can keep it going.
But I really, really feel that 9 car is going to be the car to beat. The car looked fantastic in practice yesterday. And Chase is a driver that really understands this racetrack. And Clint, you've talked about it. You need to know this track to be able to run.
Can we please go?
Chet Dryer's doing a little more work on pit road. Let's take a look at this season with the next-gen car compared to 1 year ago so far. We've had more leaders, far more lead changes, About the same number of cautions, and the final lead change happening very late in the race.
And this graphic right here that we're looking at is, as I heard you saying, all right, we're picking our cars, right? Took the obvious. The fastest cars here on the front row. I'm telling you, if we've learned anything this year with this new car in particular, the shifting, all the things that these guys have had to overcome,
I don't want it tomorrow, me neither. Because I don't work Sundays, but tomorrow I agreed to work. So, I mean, I'd still call out, but it's just going to be a shitty situation, you know? Obviously, I'll still be alive for the race, but it would just be an awkward situation.
But Larry Mack, how different is it that you have your simulations, you have all your engineering, but you have no playbook because you've never raced this car here?
You know, Mike, we were talking to Eric Almirola, and we addressed that very thing with him. And what we're also learning, and Chad will know this.
You've been doing pace laps for 15 minutes.
But post-race simulation.
Not surprising.
A huge role as well. We saw that a lot during all the winter testing, where you would do your simulation, you would go to the racetrack, and then go back to the simulator to see if the things that you were learning actually made sense.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. With you for every mile on the road to greatness. Goodyear, more driven.
All right, now they're going down pit road doing their pit road speed check, so I think
3 and 4.
We'll be getting to one to go.
Enters the pits at turn 3. The pits begin at the.
I still don't understand why we do this.
All the way down to the exit of
like, I remember the whole point of us doing that pit road speed check was because we didn't have practice. Like, they used to always do this in practice. And the point of us doing that was because we didn't have practice. Now we have practice. So what the fuck is the point?
It's because they're pitted down here in 1 and 2. I saw the 22 of Logano that's pitted down there in that end. He was rolling the inside, Chad, practicing where they're pitted.
And what's really interesting about this pit road is obviously we have a radius around the corners, and the turn radius and where you are on the inside or outside, Clint, has a huge role in how fast you are graded and how you go through pit road.
That may be why they had 11 speeding penalties here last fall, the most in any race of 2021.
Yeah, Mike, in fact, in the last 10 races, there's been a total of 74. The last 4 races, there's been 35 penalties for speeding on pit road. Always really fights these drivers.
And how many of those were Denny Hamlin?
and look, to a lot of these drivers' credit, we come down this pit road with a very, very low tire pressure. And as you start to leave your pit box, you're trying to roll that radius, that soft tire, that low tire pressure is like a sponge, and it just kind of bounces and it'll start to buck. And it's really difficult for the drivers to maintain a consistent RPM. And that's why the crew chiefs and the engineers have to put a little buffer in there to make sure you don't get yourself caught.
But at the RPM, whether it's the tire pressure, this, you know, I've always called it slack, you know, it always was dictated off of the RPM that you were running. If you were down at like a 4,000 RPM, it thing bucked hard. If you had a pit road speed of like, say, 4,600, it seemed like it was in the torque curve of the camshaft and it didn't buck near as bad. This track with this tight pit stall, like you were saying, down in that low RPM, man, it was so hard to drag the brake and try to keep some consistency in the drivetrain.
And not to pick on Denny Hamlin, but he is very aggressive at being right up against that pit road speed limit, and he has had 9 speeding penalties here.
Denny didn't qualify very well.
Now, boys, we're ready. Track is ready. Tires are pumped up. These guys are ready.
Let's go.
And the lights are out atop the.
We're getting ready to go racing, boys. Let's do this.
An electric truck has paced the race in the Cup Series.
After about an hour of waiting.
Truck is in. Chase Elliott.
All right, boys, we're doing it.
Will lead them to green for the first of 400 laps at Martinsville.
Here we go. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing from Martinsville. We made it. The whole scheme is kind of nice. Let me see that. Oh yeah, I do like that paint scheme.
That's Brad Keselowski's spotter. A.J. Allmendinger has served his pass-through penalty for inspection failure and is 1 lap down after 2 complete. Chase Elliott in front of Almirola by half a second. Here's what Chase Elliott and his team had to say after checking pit road speed prior to the start.
My page novel, don't know why. So evidently it fell off, so we had to put a little bit of glue back on it. You might be able to turn it harder to see if it'll break it free. I'm afraid I want to like break it. I mean, they're good. Calvin, just leave it. Want us to be very careful on section 2.
So they can actually change pages on the dash is what that was, and sometimes, well, not sometimes, they will definitely have 1 or 2 different pages according to what that guy, the driver, says on his pit road speed. If they see that he's speeding, let's go adjust to page 2. Maybe it's farther down.
Stage 1 is 80 laps. I don't know if we have a competition caution.
Back at 21st, Martin Truex trying to make some noise on the outside of Tyler Reddick.
Right now, he's just hoping that we start to get some rubber laid.
No competition caution tonight. So, the first scheduled caution is at lap 80 for the end of stage 1.
Third line on the inside, and until we get a little bit lower in RPM, get the pace drop down a little bit, some rubber out there, you're kind of in no man's land.
Stewart Haas teammates fighting for second place. Cole Custer's got it.
Again, so hard to manage these runs. Probably going to see a long run, no competition caution. So Eric Almirola, you see him struggling a little bit. Doesn't have the takeoff speed, maybe a little bit loose, Chad.
Yeah, and I think we've seen that every race this year that we've come off the heels of an Xfinity race. The track is always super free to begin with. And we all know how treacherous it is right now, getting into the corners, downshifting, everything that's going on right there. I feel after we get past this first stage, the track's probably begin to tighten up a little bit.
But even on that conversation with Eric in the 10 car, I believe if he can hold on there, right, find a spot to ride here, hang on for 10, 15 laps, that might come right back to him.
100%.
Temperature here in the low 40s at Martinsville. The tires, well, they're not quite going to give off sparks, but we're pretty close into that range as Bubba Wallace has picked up a few spots since the start of this race. Now 18th, up 3.
Locked his wheel up getting into the corner in qualifying. Had a lot better car than they showed from where he started, so it doesn't surprise me a bit that Bubba's marching up through the field. I think his car is pretty good tonight.
Jones down 4 spots since the start in the Petty GMS 43. Well, the 43 and the 21. Now there's a sight. That and the Woodrunners go right together. See how that happens later in the race. Chase Elliott, due to that battle for second spot won by Cole Custer, he's now stretched it out by 1.1 seconds.
There was the fastest car in the racetrack to 24, William Byron. Actually, about a tenth faster than the leader, even Chase Elliott.
Left front rotors are starting to glow a little bit, so we're only 14 laps into the race, and you're already seeing the guys start to punish the brakes, starting to use the brakes to get the car to turn.
How about Todd Gilliland, qualified 10th for Front Row Motorsports, running 11th. With Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano, a couple of the Penske boys right behind him.
Had a truck win back in 2019. Great job making that top 10 with this company as a great qualifying effort for him. Front Row Motorsports.
3 Penske cars running in one tight group there.
We saw both rotors growing on the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Wasn't just the fronts, Chad.
Yeah, so once you start to see the rears glowing like that, that means the guys are really starting to put that rear brake in the car. as you know, we're coaching you that. You're like, man, the car's starting to get tight. Okay, add some rear brake to that, Clint. Add some rear brake. That'll help the car rotate as you're dragging the brake around the corner.
Jamie Little.
And Bubba Wallace, you guys mentioned him in the 23. He qualified 21st. And I'll tell you guys, and you were in agree, you were on the show yesterday. After his group went out for practice, he was fastest. And I have not seen Bubba that happy and optimistic about his race car in a long time. And I said, well, what happened in qualifying? He said, it's okay. Our car is not good on the short run. It's all about the long run. It'll take a little while to get up to speed, but I'm pretty happy with what we have.
Look at this race for second place. William Byron pulled right to the bumper of Colt Custer, not 41. The 24 car is extremely fast.
William Byron had co-crew chiefs for his truck win here the other night. Rudy Fugel, his cup crew chief, was up on the box with Kevin Mannion for that victory. Christopher Bell closing in fourth place.
So that's a little trick you'll do to make sure that everything gets up to temperature. The crew chief will tell the driver, okay, let's keep our brake fans off until we get out there, run a handful of laps, get everything up to temperature, especially early on in the race, get everything seated up really well to make sure you don't get that cold brake shake that you could potentially get. Now they're about 20 laps in the race. Hit your fans and see if they get everything pulled back into a normal situation.
Both RFK Fords in the top 10. Brad Keselowski in 8th, Chris Buescher in 6th. Chase Elliott has led all 21 laps so far in Martinsville.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
It's still the Eat Fresh Refresh, and Subway's refreshing their Italians. So we're taking this to Italy. Refresh. Because Subway now has Italian-style capicola on the new matzo meat and supreme meats. Love the smell of Italian food.
Subway keeps refreshing and refresh.
It's an absolute hammer.
Catch all that?
I'm ready to rip somebody's freaking head off.
Or that. Well, get ready for this, and a whole lot of this. I am Full Throttle. I am Nascar.
Syracuse. Get ready for electricity.
As head of the table, Roman Reigns and big-time Becky Lynch come to town for WWE Super Show. Don't miss 3 massive title bouts in a triple main event. Who will lead with championship gold? Find out at WWE Super Show, live from Syracuse, Sunday, April 17th. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages on sale now.
You don't marry the like of your life, you marry the love of your life. And on your wedding day, you don't want to like the way you look, you want to love the way you look. And we're here to
Guys, see the GoPro cars? Oh yeah, Daniel Suarez has that, right?
love the way you look.
This weekend, Red Lobster's Ultimate Endless Shrimp is on for just $19.99. Enjoy our biggest, best shrimp, like jumbo coconut shrimp and garlic shrimp scampi. It's an endless shrimp weekend. Don't miss out.
I used to think that I had seen everything.
He's still alive under there.
Clear? But I don't say that anymore.
An all-new 911, followed by 911 Lone Star, this Monday on Fox.
28 green flag laps complete, Chase Elliott out in front, and that means that Hendrick Motorsports has just become the first race organization ever to lead 10,000 laps in the Cup Series at a single track.
That's cool.
10,000 laps. How far is that, Clint?
All right, you ready for this? I mean, this is getting to Mike Joy level. That is just like the equivalent of driving from Miami, Florida to Anchorage, Alaska.
What?
Just in case you would want to do that. Who would ever leave Miami, Florida and head to Anchorage, Alaska?
I think they're probably going the other way.
If you wanted to know how far that is, that's how far it is.
Can you? I don't know. That's a long ways.
That was all off the top of my head, too, by the way.
Did you? Did you map that out, or did you use Google Maps on that?
No.
No.
Isn't that cool, though? 10,000 laps led at this racetrack. That is a pretty unbelievable feat.
It really is, and it just goes to what we were talking about pre-race. This place is so near and dear to our hearts at Hendrick Motorsports. We love coming to this venue. We love it for the short track racing. It's awesome being here Saturday night under the lights watching this race. It's an awesome venue, and we're proud to be here racing.
Cole Custer has worked his way up to second, one spot higher than where he qualified. Regan Smith.
Mike, it's been a good start for Cole Custer so far tonight, but I spoke to him earlier today. He had a number of concerns, many of which you guys have already touched on.
Padres are playing right now.
The racetrack, what it would look like on
Did the Red Sox win today?
He had, though, right now, so far so good for that 41. He just updated the team, just a little bit loose in the
No
corner,
fucking shit. God damn it.
Really interesting as you watch right now. 41 car, he's rolling through the corner there. You can start to see they're starting to lay down some rubber, and that's what we're wanting right now. As a crew chief, you're like, okay, that rubber's starting to lay down. Now tell me what your car is doing, because when we get to that stage break at lap 80, that's when we're going to make our first set of adjustments.
So here's the last car on the lead lap, Ty Dillon in the 42, and he is about to get lapped. He is in 31st.
You got Bell winning?
So traffic after just 35 laps here. And not far ahead is last week's winner, Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, I did not see this at all. Denny struggling all weekend long. Wasn't the best yesterday and again tonight. It won't be long. Chase Elliott will be on his bumper. Business will pick up for those guys. As that leader starts to go, the urgency happens, and you've got to start laying to the bumper to some of these guys. Put some cars in between you and that leader coming.
That's what Hamlin is trying to do right now against Corey LaJoie, and with Daniel Suarez right behind.
Got to be ready to get to work tonight, Clint. Downshifting into each quarter. Get going. You just get the car pointed. Boom. You got to grab another gear.
I love it. This is something new, and honestly, I never had a chance to do this. I would have loved to be out there and see firsthand just how this feels. You know, how many times I was racing somebody, you know, trapped underneath them, kind of stalled out and wish I could reach up and downshift that thing. Now they can.
Well, some drivers describe it like swatting flies, and someone else described it as like being an octopus in there because you are so busy.
This race for second place is heating up.
Jaden!
You can see William Byron.
Jaden, I have a question.
He's there, but I'm telling you,
Jaden!
Ford Mustang has been really, really good.
Jaden!
Boy, and that's Martinsville. Give him a little bump with the chrome horn or the bumper cover in the case of...
Jaden, I have a question. Okay, Jaden. Do you think that we see a full race tonight? Do you think that we see lap 400 tonight?
Christopher Bell starting to catch him, sense of urgency like I was talking about. Sorry, Cole, I got to go.
We're halfway through the stage right now, so these guys are looking for stage points. We're only going to lap 80. That's going to come up on you really quick. And then I thought
yes. See, that's the optimism I love. I love that.
Just kind of back off and let this 24 go. So I'm not the first caution of the race.
We're at 7th place, riding with Kevin Harvick. Jamie Little.
And Kevin Harvick, when you look at his stats, this hasn't been a great racetrack for this team, especially since 2016. Talked to Rodney Childers, who said, we needed a reset here. We needed a clean piece of paper. That's what we got this race car. They have loaded in the ballpark, and Rodney told me they have been in that driver's simulator every single race. That's not something Harvick ever did. He only went the simulator for road courses, and it's paying off big. He had a great qualifying effort, his best of the year of 6th yesterday.
This whole new next-gen cars has changed a lot of folks' race preparation. Chase Elliott coming up on Ricky Stenhouse and Harrison Burton. That's Josh Bilicki up high. And now Cody Ware in the 51. And Ricky Stenhouse trying to make work for Chase Elliott. So they passed the 2-lap down cars. And now Stenhouse.
Okay, my stream is lagging. My race stream. Oh, not this stream. been to Petco Park at least 5 times. I've been to Petco Park 0 times. The only Major League Stadium I've been to is Citi Field, and I've been there twice. And then I'm going to go to Fenway in just 2 months.
That climbed up the fender, didn't it, Chad?
Yeah. You wouldn't expect these guys to be riding in 22nd and 23rd position at Martinsville the way they've done this year. It's just amazing to me right now. I'm really curious to see how much the teams are able to adjust these cars when they come in for this break at lap 80 to see what they can do and who can make a leapfrog forward. And, you know, Paddy right now, Brian Paddy, crew chief on the number 47 car, he's like, how in the world are we 48 laps into this race and we're already lapped down? You know, it's a hole that's going to be very difficult to dig out of right now.
Well, and hey, and Ricky Stenhouse did a great job trying to hold him off. The leader of Chase Elliott, that is. I mean, he was really, really tough on him, making his car as wide as possible because you cannot afford to go a lap down this early.
We should be good through the end of the night when it comes to rain.
Cars on the lead lap out of 36 after 48 laps complete. Eric Almirola started outside pole. He is currently fifth, Regan.
Like he slid back just a little bit from the start of this race, but that race car starting to come back to him now with this long run, getting happier with it. The biggest issue, very loose under braking. But he just told the crew chief, Drew Blickensurfer, I can't get to the brake knob to adjust this. My hands are so busy, I don't have time to get to it on the straightaways. Clint, you're already busy here. Throw in a shift, and now you can't even adjust your brakes.
And you saw every in-car camera, you know, these guys have their hands full.
Larry, shifting, brake bias, steering. You only got 2 hands.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in there. So let's go to our Ford virtual cutaway car. We keep hearing about brake adjuster. These cars basically have 2 brake systems, one in the front, one in the rear. That's the knob right there that they're basically talking about. They can crank a little more front and a little more rear. You heard Chad talk about it. The more rubber that goes down on this racetrack, the car gets tighter. The front wheels quit gripping, and that's when they'll start cranking a little bit of that rear brake. But yeah, trying to shift and everything else, that's a lot to ask that driver to do.
Driver's hard at work, left hand on the wheel, right hand, very busy. 53 laps complete. Chase Elliott has led them all. He's led more laps here at Martinsville than any other track as we take you Fox side by side.
When you step into a new day, determined, committed, willing to take
Fire Ben Bayshore.
That new day is yours to own, yours to shape, and yours to be proud of. Ram, J.D. Power's #1 brand.
I don't know if we should fire Ben Bayshore.
Right now, during Ram Truck Month, get 0% financing for 70.
DW back to the booth for Bristol. Did they just announce that and I just missed it?
For March Madness, the Dave
That's
single
awesome.
is just a $1 in the Wendy's app. Reg.
Lunchtime, baby.
Lunchtime indeed, Rich.
Get a hot and juicy Dave single for just $1 in the app. Choose wise. Choose Wendy's. You gotta tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. You gotta do it fast.
Woo! New personal record, Limu!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Ooh. Call Logano. Hey, Joey. You can save money if you fill up a Shell if you use Advanced Auto Parts Speed Perks. Dude, I'm way ahead of you. You saved at the pump? Yeah, I saved at the pump. The pump? The pump. You saved at the pump! Woo!
Now you can save at the pump when you shop at Advanced Auto Parts. Learn more at advancedautoparts.com/gas rewards.
Now, it's my turn.
The lady in black doesn't age. She just gets tougher. And throwback weekend is when she likes to remind all the friends.
Ben Bayshore seems to only put a good car together at 1.5-mile tracks. Yeah.
Loud cars, louder colors. Business up front and parties in the back. Over 70 years of history, held together in one famous black stripe. Too tough to tame? I guess you'll have to find out.
An historic game in prime time.
USFL makes history as the Birmingham Stallions face the New Jersey Generals. Live on Fox and NBC. The USFL kicks off next Saturday at 7:30 Eastern on Fox and NBC.
Chase Elliott, your leader at 60 laps in Martinsville. Both Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson have dropped 6 positions since the start of this race. Elliott the leader, Byron second for Hendrick Motorsports. Alex Bowman 12th and Kyle Larson 14th. Jamie?
Well, we were wondering if something had happened to Larson. I've been listening to him as he shuffled down to 14. He's basically been struggling with exit, and Bill Daniels, his crew chief, told him, don't drive in the corner so deep, it'll help that exit. Now he just came on and said, I'm just too loose and I just upset the rear tire, so I'm struggling in here.
I don't know. I don't feel like the problem's the crew chief anymore. I think the problem is... it hurts to say, but I think the problem might be Kyle.
Oh, 24 at the 9 of Chase Elliott had enough. 99 of Daniel Suarez did a great job, fantastic job holding off that leader of Chase Elliott. But finally, Chase put the bumper to him and moved because that 24 is getting bigger in the mirror.
16 laps to go.
NFL draft on April 28th. DW back for Bristol. I didn't hear that announcement, but apparently Tabular did, so I mean, I think that's true.
You'll give him a handful. Yeah, won last week, as a matter of fact.
And Denny is great at Martinsville. He is great. So that just tells you how difficult it is to sometimes get your head wrapped around what's going on.
Let's put in telemetry for both these two cars. Straightaway speed about the same, 113, 114 miles an hour. Now they have Eric Jones just ahead and Michael McDowell. As Hamlin fights to stay on the lead lap. Alex Bowman, 12th place, up 3 from where he started.
And laying down some really fast laps. We talked about it. The Hendrick boys showed up this
Man, I love those brake rotors are getting hot.
48 is going to be up there joining his teammates before long.
Teammates getting a little aggressive right there. Not only teammates, but owner and teammate.
Brad Keselowski this week lost his appeal for the problem that was found with the rear body panel on his car after a recent race, and a huge fine and loss of points for that specific to be used as supplied part having been modified.
Yeah, NASCAR, they helped serve on that. They said they were going to be firm if people were caught manipulating, a single source provider component, and we don't know yet exactly what all that was. We don't know exactly what happened. Paul Harvey will come out at some point and tell us the rest of the story. But man, that's a big hit for those guys, and that could be, championship altering right there. Can they make the playoffs? If they make the playoffs, losing those points, what happens when you get to the Final Four? If you get that far, it's going to be difficult.
And Denny Hamlin is giving that 9-car fits. He's doing everything he can do. You can see the brakes.
Chase Elliott.
Cherry red. He's driving that thing down.
Chase Elliott's on every lap tonight so far.
Eric Jones putting a car in between him, doing a great job holding off the leader of Chase Elliott.
And what is Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin's history here? Let's just say they're not best friends.
Yeah, definitely.
See, Denny finally got under Eric Jones. It's going to go a long ways to him holding him off to the end of this stage. Do not give up the bottom.
But I'm going to steal a little something.
Look at here. Eric Jones is the same way.
There's something going on. Watch that 11 car, just like what you mentioned. And I got to say, you're going to be able to comment to this better than I, but when he is shifting, when he's upshifting down the straightaway, it's throwing a big flame out of the exhaust. So it almost looks like he's having a hard time getting it into gear.
I noticed it earlier about 20 laps ago, and I actually under break asked you what that was. It's almost like he's leaving the thing. Oh, he got in too hard, slid up. The 9 car got under him.
He is there.
He is there. You're right, Spotter. But there again, you see, as soon as he shifts that thing, it was almost like he was leaving the throttle down, and it's hitting the rev limiter, maybe the chip.
Maybe.
It's the only thing I can think of, because it's the only car, by the way, that's doing that down the straightaway under an upshift. Look at this, 3 wide.
Ooh.
Justin Haley to the outside. Joey Logano trying to hold here against Ryan Blaney for 7 stage points at stake. Now, Elliott lapping the 11. That is big, putting Denny Hamlin a lap down. But before the end of the stage, Elliott's going to have to get one more because Hamlin is in the free pass position and will get back on the lead lap at stage end.
And he is on the heels of the 34 car right now, rolling into turn 3, and I think that's likely going to happen down the front straightaway.
And Denny is going to have to stay in tow, stay right on the bumper that night. If he gets underneath it, man, you better get in there too. Go with him.
2 to go in stage 1. Hamlin gets back on the lead lap if Elliott doesn't complete this pass, and here's Big to the inside.
Michael slipped up off of 2, got loose.
Denny's going to have to follow him. Here he comes.
And I don't think he can.
This is pretty good racing here for the end of the stage. Just like, you know, who's going to get the free pass, who's going to stay on the lead lap, who's not. I like this.
To protect that spot.
Going to have to do it to get back on the lead lap at stage end. Final lap of the stage.
All right, so Chase Elliott leads every lap of stage 1, and he gets the stage 1 win. That was good. He tried to bump and run him there. Then he tried to bump and run Michael McDowell. The caution's out. Stage 1 is over. I am going to go pee, and I will be right back.
You're going to give me. I need some drive. Be loose. If I'm that 5-car Kyle Larson, I'm loose in, loose off. Wedge.
Right, Sheena? Chase Elliott wins stage 1.
Put some crossweight in this thing here during this pit stop. This is tough right now. The track's just starting to rubber up. It's going to get exciting here in the second stage.
Racing isn't all about the numbers. Like 162 Cup wins.
Or 3 Cup Series championships.
How about those 3 Daytona 500s?
It's about the thousands of bumps and bruises. It's the millions of fans and the endless rain of confetti.
It's the countless I love yous.
Our success is in a generation of memories. Here's to the next.
Sandwiches shouldn't come from a tanning salon. They should be served straight from the fryer and piping hot. That's Kentucky Fried to order. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
With Armor All, a little bit of this protects you from a lot of that. Armor All, minimum effort, maximum protection.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive, because we only serve those who honorably serve. All ranks, all branches, and their eligible family members. Yep, that is exclusive, and we're fine with that.
I figured out what I'm gonna do.
I wouldn't be a priest.
For Halloween.
No one wants to hear the gospel from the mouth of a gangster.
Chase Elliott won stage 1, Sheena.
Maybe that's exactly what they need.
First Stew, rated R.
These TV sweethearts will name that tune. 2, 1, notes.
From Beverly Hills 90210. That is correct.
Name That Tune Celebrity Edition on Tuesday on Fox.
There's a reputation on the track, one that screams, bring it, loud enough so the whole world can see it coming. I am the Nascar Xfinity Series in NASCAR.
The USFL is nearly here. Players are fired up and ready to go. We're just 1 week away from the start of this innovative new league. The inaugural season kicks off next Saturday with a battle between the New Jersey Generals and the Birmingham Stallions, airing on both Fox and NBC. Mark your calendar, April 16th. Start of the USFL. New game, new rules. Big fun. Stage 1 is complete. The three Penske cars each moved up 5 or 6 spots into the top 10. Toyota struggling, but for Christopher Bell in 4th and Kurt Busch in 10th. Hendrick Motorsports finished the stage 1-2. Pit road's open. Jamie.
And William Byron in the 24, based on how he ran there in stage 1, you can imagine. He said the balance is really good. He said, the only thing is I need to baby these rear tires at the end of a run a little bit more. So being aware of taking care of those tires. It's four tires here, stickers. Regan.
Cole Custer in the 41, we documented he fired off a little too loose in. That race car has stayed loose the entire run, needs an adjustment for that. The 20 car Christopher Bell is struggling in traffic, likes the car but loses all grip in traffic. And the 9 car of your leader, Chase Elliott, very happy with that race car, said he can control his own balance. That's bad news for the competition.
Here's your Ram race off pit road. Elliott and Byron hold station. Christopher Bell, Eric Almirola up 1. Logano and Cindric 2 each to the game.
Well, let's dial up this stage winner, Chad. How about you, Chase Elliott's boy and the boys up in the booth? You got us?
Yeah, gotcha.
Man, I tell you what, set on the pole, check. Fast car, check. Win a stage, check. Is there anything that you're struggling with tonight?
Yeah, I feel like our Luke March Chevy's been pretty good. Need to manage, the lead a little bit, try to get through traffic a little better. So let's work on some of the things I'm doing in here and hopefully be around here at the end of this thing.
All right, man, keep up the good work.
Yeah, appreciate it, y'all. Enjoy.
Chase Elliott, William Byron 1-2 after 1 stage. Chase Elliott has won the last 3 stages here at Martinsville. He gets his first stage win of the season right here.
Whenever you crack open a Busch Light, the mountain starts singing.
It's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you.
What is going on?
Hit it, Giant Kenny G.
So smooth.
And for the mountains of Busch Light beer.
As a struggling actor, I need all the breaks that I can get. At Liberty Buchamuk.
Cut.
Liberty Bibbity.
Cut.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you... Line?
Need.
Action.
Cut. You can't say that.
Sorry. Is this where they're going to put the Statue of Liberty? Liberty... Are we married to Mutual?
Cut.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm gonna be a priest.
For Halloween.
Father Stu is the perfect Easter film.
He asked for the tired and the poor.
I'm an out-of-work actor, hello?
It's the inspiring story we need right now.
I'm praying for you, Bill.
Don't you dare! You're violating my rights!
Father Stu, in movie theaters Wednesday. Rated R.
My A1C stayed here. It needed to be here.
Ruby's A1C is down with Rybelsus.
My A1C wasn't at goal. Now I'm down with Rybelsus.
Mom's A1C is down with Rybelsus.
In a clinical study, once daily Rybelsus significantly lowered A1C better than a leading branded pill. Rybelsus isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't take Rybelsus if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer, or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if allergic to it. Stop Rybelsus and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Rybelsus with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Need to get your A1C down?
Ask your healthcare provider about Rybelsus today.
If you went on a road trip and you didn't stop for McDonald's, that wasn't a road trip.
It was just a really long drive.
The Bristol Easter Special next week begins at 4:30 Eastern on FS1 with an Easter celebration headlined by Grammy Award-winning worship leader Chris Tomlin and best-selling author and pastor Max Lucado. FS1 continues with race day at 5:30 before moving to Fox at 6, all leading up to this.
There we go. That's the announcement.
It's back on Fox for the Bristol Night Race, Easter Sunday at 7 p.m. NASCAR Hall of Famer and former Fox analyst back in the booth.
Looking forward to a good weekend, special weekend for everybody. Can't wait to get old DW in there. Old, man, that picture looked like a high school picture, man. I think his retirement, he's gotten a lot younger.
Do you think that he asked Stevie if he could have the weekend to go to a race?
Man, I think Stevie knows. You don't have to ask at this point a racer if he can go to the racetrack.
All right, Cody Ware too fast exiting, and Bubba Wallace's team was over the wall too soon.
Look at this 3-car right here. I'm telling you, keep an eye on.
All right, guys, we're going green for stage 2.
Past 11 cars at first stage.
Green flag is back in the air, and we are underway for stage 2. William Byron checked up a little bit there on the restart. He gets back around Cole Custer, but Chase Elliott's going to pull away with the lead already.
We've seen that a lot over the years, teammates trying to work with one another on the initial starts because, as you know, as guys get hung out on the outside, they could lose 5, 6, 7 spots if they're not able to get down to the bottom groove. But right now, like I spoke about earlier, the rubber's starting to lay down.
You see that now. First stage, second stage, you'll see all that. Third stage, all that goes out the window.
They're not friends anymore. No.
Also on the stops, Brad Keselowski's team had equipment over the wall too soon, so he has restarted out back. The big stories of stage 1, Chase Elliott led every lap. William Byron came up for second spot to join his Hendrick Chevy teammate. And last week's winner, Denny Hamlin, got lapped just a couple of laps prior to the end of stage 1. The last time we raced here at night, Hamlin finished 3 laps down in 24. Oh, little bump and run there. How about Austin Dillon, Jamie?
Well, he's coming off 2 straight top 10 finishes in the last 2 weeks, Mike, and I feel like we don't really talk about him early in the race because he comes on strong toward the end. And the team told me qualifying has been their weakness, but they've been good at adjusting this new race car. But tonight, he's wasting no time. Started 23rd, up there now in the 10th spot.
Top 10, good run. In past years, some of the beating and banging that we've seen would have resulted in a tire rub, a cut tire, a flailed fender, and a couple of caution flags. Not tonight.
Well, we just saw right there, the 3-car and the 48 got together a little bit, saw a little bit of tire smoke. No real damage to speak about from that contact. And one thing that also you need to take into consideration is the rear tire, the tie rods that NASCAR has given the teams for this weekend is a little bit larger. So that toe rod on the right rear, if you start to have some contact, it's not going to bend as easily. So these guys are even more encouraged, even more and more now to go ahead and go out there and beat and bang. We've seen a lot of contact with 0 issues so far.
A lot of conversation around that they were going to make a little bit stronger because we've seen that was the weak link. The 9-car broke a couple, out in California. We've seen that several times. But making a couple pieces stronger, learning as we go here. But the point is, these cars are tough. You can beat and bang. They take a lick and keep going. No tire rubs. I love that composite body on these race cars.
And it was all learned, if you look at it, I mean, the test bed was the Xfinity Series, right? That's where they started with the flange fit bodies as opposed to the steel bodies that we have been running traditionally in the Cup Series. And
guess who's back again. Beast Boys back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back. Guess who's back. Guess who's back. Guess who's back. Guess who's back.
Chris Gabehart said we were a little overwhelmed with this car at Martinsville. Very tight yesterday. That race car car still very tight right now for Denny. Been having trouble getting the front tires to turn. Another component to think about also, the steering in this car a little bit slower than what Denny's accustomed to at Martinsville. Very difficult for a driver to adapt as quick as they have to in such a short practice.
Well, the race for the free pass position is right there on your screen. 43 Eric Jones and 11 Denny Hamlin, the first two cars one lap down. Sixth place, Eric Almirola, who started this race from...
Been a while since I joined one of your streams. Yeah, it has been a bit, but I'm happy you're back. I'm happy to see you. You enjoying some racing this fine evening?
Of course, that's good. That's good. From a racing
I wouldn't want to spend my Saturday night doing anything else.
Decision as a crew chief and as a team, how are we going to approach the race? Do we want to go for short run speed and abuse those tires, or do you want to go for a long run? If you are, then you got to be the team. Okay, how do we manage our setup to try to make sure that we don't wear out that right rear tire? Because that's what's driving you down the straightaway.
Well, and that intel also, don't think that driver can't make some adjustments inside that thing. If you're riding, you're in a happy spot, start backing off of that pedal a little bit up off the corners. Don't lean on it quite as hard getting in. Adjusting the brakes that we were talking about early. Downshifts, upshifts. There's a lot of things there that you can do inside that car to help that crew chief with tire wear.
Kurt Busch in 11th behind Austin Dillon. All three Penske cars in the top 8. And you see just ahead of Dillon, Kevin Harvick. 4 laps ago, he was doing a tattoo on the bumper of Austin Cindric, but now Cindric's been able to build a gap of about 2-3 car lengths to Harvick. Downshift, mid-corner, accelerate, straightaway, upshift again.
It's so great. It's so fun to watch these guys. Whoa, right there. That downshift just knocked the back end of the car loose, and Kurt had to hustle.
And he's going to get past.
I don't think that was
inside.
I don't think that was a downshift. I think it was the 5's bumper that did that. And look how much that upset him inside that car. That's another thing about this car. It has a lot of tire under it. And what I mean by that is it feels stable. When I drove this thing...
Dwayne Haskins passed. Yeah, I heard about that. It's unfortunate. I never really knew who he was or paid attention to him, but it's always just really sad when I hear that a young athlete dies before he really gets to go out there and show what he has in the tank, It's sad, so rest in peace, Just a damn shame.
But that's how you pass here. You run the inside in the corner here, and if you want to pass somebody, you're almost going to have to move them.
Wait a minute. That is one way to pass here.
Okay. It's not the preferred way, but it sure is effective.
I think after what I saw last night, I don't even know if there's a preferred way, a gentleman's agreement anymore.
I don't think we're going to see any rain tonight.
Reminds me of the old days.
So that's good. I think we're straight to the end.
Awesome. This is just great.
Which I'm not against that idea.
All right, well, let's go back and look at Kyle Larson. Did he get into the 45 of Kurt Busch, or was he just there?
I don't think that was a lap.
I think it was. I think he was just offline, grabbed a gear, and lost it right there. But
no, yeah, into the corner.
We might see a little bit of rain around 11, unfortunately.
He was already
but I think it's just a tiny bit, and then it's supposed to weaken.
That was
sticking to it.
Yeah, I think it might even weaken before it hits the track.
He was already to his door.
So I think we're good to the end.
I don't know. Something happened there.
Here, have a hot dog.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty spread out right now, just like we had in the first stage. But I don't mind that. The name of the game always at this place is a long run. Always has been. Managing this tire wear and more.
It is 45 degrees in Ridgeway, Virginia. It's a cold ass night out there.
Around and get through that lap traffic the best. That's who's going to win between this battle right here, because this battle ain't going away all night.
Those two right there, you can look at a significantly different approach to the corner from one another. One right on the bottom, the other one running up just a little bit. This is going to be a good race.
What? What? That's the hot dog stand that services all of the pits here in Martinsville. Wow, a sellout.
No wonder there's no in the morning.
Get the truck that's built to serve right from your living room with Ram eShop. Search, find, and buy your perfect truck online and get delivery from the comfort of your own home. Credit approval, price, and payment calculations all made quick, easy, and safe. The keys are just a click away with Ram's eShop. Right now, during
They're out of hot dogs. Yeah, that's fucked up.
for 72 months on the 2022
That's fucked up.
Ram 1500 Bighorn.
Meet Renee, bank manager and mom of the year. But when she gets on her bike, she becomes Rebel Renee. Rebel Renee is the most outspoken member of her book club. And she didn't even read the
William Byron is really closing in on the leader, though.
She
Chase
wants
Elliott.
to phone at trivia night. And she isn't above greasing some palms to get things done. And Rebel Renee rides with Geico because savings and great service are two things she'd never rebel against. Geico, savings and service for both your sides.
It's the goods versus the cuddly in a double elimination round no one could predict.
It might be the biggest upset in Masked Singer history.
The Masked Singer, all new Wednesday on Fox.
We've got accessories for the everyday and ones that go much further. Accessories for your outdoor.
Brian Kozlowski, Brad Kozlowski's brother, said, "Sorry, those hot dogs are horrible. I keep trying them, they still suck. No wonder they gotta cover him in so much stuff." So, I don't know. I feel like if I tried a Martinsville hot dog, I wouldn't like it as much as I think I would. You know? Is my TV muted or is it? Ugh. They have hot dogs again? That's good. That was a quick turnaround. Bear with me, I'll have audio back in a second. This happens like every week. My TV will mute itself. I have to like turn it off twice and then it will fix itself. There we go.
Joey Logano up 9 positions. They need a good run tonight. They had a tough couple of weeks.
It seems that recent NFL deaths have all been automobile related. Sounds like you need a new TV. Get it? Sounds.
J.J. Yaley. He has about a second on Eric Almirola.
I mean, there's a TV upstairs that's literally mine. I could just plug that in. It's not mine, but my sister was like, "It's yours now." So.
Really taking care of his car, and he's trying to make sure that thing's there towards the end of the stage. We still have 46 laps
Link.
to go.
Okay, I'll look at the link.
You've got a long ways to go. We've already heard about the tires going down to the cords. At 22, he's really being patient, which is a little bit uncharacteristic from the Penske guys, who traditionally here are very much more a short-run car. But he's running up on that 20 car.
I think that this filter is super fun because
last night was any indication, all of these long runs and long run speed. Time we get to about 90, that's all going out the window. We'll see.
How many lead changes in the last 7 or 8 laps do we see in that stat? Right? 7?
Martin Truex, 17th right now. Restarted 50. His teammate Kyle Busch rides. Christopher Bell in 4th for Joe Gibbs Racing, and Denny Hamlin still a lap down and not in the free pass position in 25th.
Isn't really challenging from the 11 onto the 43.
serve. Kyle Busch up a spot, back a spot, right there between 15th and 18th position for much of this race.
Huge separation right now if you look at the JGR guys. You've got Bell running in fourth, been fast all weekend long, pretty consistent. The other guys just not so much. The 18 showed some speed in practice, thought that he was going to be a factor. Not saying that he won't be as we get a little bit further into the race. But man, right now, as he's just cruising around in 16th and 17th with the 18 and 19 car, not really showing a lot of speed right there.
I think that shows you, you said had a lot of speed in practice. That practice was 20, minutes long, and we heard 50 laps is about as most that these guys got out of that practice. Different conversation when you're out here running 80.
And yet here's Christopher Bell in fourth at a track that is.
It feels like Mark Martin retired like last month. It kind of does.
He is really using a lot of front brake. Denny Hamlin here, as we're looking at those brakes glow, you can see the leaders just barely glowing, getting into the corner. Pretty much goes away. Tells me that car's rolling through the middle. He's able to get off.
Wasn't that Auto Club where we saw Mark Martin come up in the booth for a little bit? That was cool. That was fun.
Whereas Denny Hamlin went over red all the way around.
And again, now the 9's been leading a lot, right? So Clint, when you're up front, you can really manage your brakes a little bit easier.
Chase Elliott has led every lap so far in this race, so he still has a shot at the perfect game. I made this thing called a perfect game in NASCAR. It's where you start on pole and you lead every lap, and then win the race. A no-hitter is where you don't start on the pole, but then you take the lead on lap 1, and then lead every lap.
Chase Elliott's within 25 of that right now. So that leads us to one of Clint's stage 2 questions. Where will our pole sitter, Chase Elliott, be at the end of stage 2?
Man, I sure hope you folks thought that he was going to dominate this weekend, because you're going to get paid a lot of money if you did.
Now Bubba Wallace trying to come back from a pit penalty for being over the wall too soon. About to go a lap down to Chase Elliott.
And again, this 42 laps to go in this stage. We don't have to pit in this stage, so you won't see anybody come down pit road to get fuel or tires or anything unless we get a caution. Now, if we get a caution right now, everybody's going to come down pit road and get some tires.
Alan Gustafson. BJ McLeod slow up in turn number 2. The co-owner of that team, Matt Tift.
Oh, BJ McLeod is very slow on track right now.
This weekend to help support the team, signed the C-pillar of that car.
All right, BJ McLeod's on pit road, so we won't see the caution. I don't know what happened there. New TV in the future. It feels like.
Tough break for the Florida driver. Trying to raise money for the Epilepsy Foundation.
Kyle Busch running 16th. That needs to change, like now.
Getting into these lap cars, that's going to be your opportunity to pounce on the leader, Chase Elliott. Chase's car is just turning. Oh, good.
A.J. Allmendinger just got in the back of Denny Hamlin and moved him out of the groove because A.J. is trying to get up there into that free pass position.
Hey, it's time to go, though, too. The leader is coming, isn't too far behind him.
I'm sorry.
Todd Gilliland.
My mistake, Todd Gilliland. Yep.
Oof. Look at the rotors glowing on that.
78 pits alone, pain.
That car so hard.
Yeah, well, he had some issue. I don't know what it was, but he was slow on track and then had to come to pit road.
16, you mentioned him earlier. Remember, they had a drive-through at the beginning of the race. They're only one lap down. And I know there's a lot of cars one lap down, but if things work out, AJ's going to be right back in the mix of this thing. And guess what? This is one of his best races.
And here comes Logano. 4th place against Christopher Bell. Makes the pass.
Joey gets around here well. Really does. Again, right around the bottom. You see the long run speed. He's able to take care of his tires. Car is rotating really well. He's done a really good job getting that car set up. Rips the curve right there. That's nice.
You can see the difference in the line. Chase Elliott can just wrap that curve a little bit tighter than William can. I think his car's rolling in the middle, turning just a hair better than the 24 of William Byron. Doesn't mean for a second. All it would take is one little slip up trying to get around the 23 of Bubba Wallace. And that 24 William Byron can make a pass, make a move on him. And he keeps working. Watch, he'll try to diamond this corner.
So guys, today at work, my boss went on a huge rant to me about how much she hated NASCAR. So this is what she said. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but this is pretty much the gist of what she said. I hate NASCAR so fucking much, dude. Like when I was a kid, my parents, they would hog the TV for hours. Like, how long does this shit last? Like, oh my god. And I cannot, oh my god, the worst week of my life, the worst day of my entire life was when I got dragged down to Richmond, Virginia, and had to sit there in the hot-ass heat as a little girl and watch the race. I begged to stay in the hotel room. I begged to stay in the hotel room and they wouldn't let me. I had to watch that race and I got sunburnt and everything. It was awful. It was just terrible. And if I have to hear one more thing about Jimmy Johnson, I'm going to blow my brains out. That's what she said. It was funny. She's missing out.
Can't do all that.
I'm ready to rip somebody's freaking head.
Or that. We'll get ready for this and a whole lot.
I thought it was hilarious.
I am full throttle.
She just felt so strongly about it.
NASCAR.
Yeah, I picked my nose, bitches. Just don't eat it. That's the rule. You can pick your nose as long as you don't eat it.
The all-new Toyota. Let's go places.
She's missing out on racing? Exactly. Well, no, because that's how the conversation started, is because she just knows I like NASCAR. She was like, is there NASCAR going on tomorrow? And I was like, no, the race is tonight. She's like, all right, can you work tomorrow? And I was like, okay. Because I don't work on Sundays, because I'm not missing NASCAR.
eBay Motors, they have all the right parts at the right prices. Whether I'm on 2 wheels, 4 wheels, or no wheels. Let's ride.
Refresh.
Italiano. Subway now has Italian-style capicola on the new Supreme meats and matzo meat, just like my Nonna makes when she cooks.
I don't cook.
Wait, what?
It's a good thing he's so handsome.
Subway keeps refreshing and
The racing, the big one, the camping. It's all just bigger at Talladega. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
156 laps complete. Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Joey Logano is the new third-place car. You saw him take the spot from Cole Custer. Ryan Blaney in fifth, 2 Chevys and 3 Fords. Larry Mack.
Yeah, Mike, this will be our Subway ride combination. It's Hendrick Motorsports at Martinsville Speedway. They now have 26 wins at Martinsville. That's the most all-time by one organization of the single track. 7 different drivers include Jimmy Johnson with Chad Knaus that has 9. Jeff Gordon has 9. The very first win of 283 total wins for Hendrick came at Martinsville in the spring of '84 with the 5 car and Jeff Bodine. And as Mike pointed out, when Chase led lap 18, 10,000 laps at the single track. And actually, Clint texted me while he was figuring out the mileage between Miami and Anchorage. He said, hey, Larry Mack, You know, Hendrick Motorsports has 37 wins in the state of Virginia, and I would say all of those things line up as a subway right combination to maybe get their 4th win of 2022.
Thanks, Larry. 3 of the 4 Hendrick drivers have been to victory lane so far this season. Brian Blaney has taken over 4th from Cole Custer.
I'm liking what I see out of the Penske boys, Logano and Blaney. I think they can, honestly, looking at the lap times that they're running, I feel like we just get a re-rack or even in lap traffic, they have something for Elliott and Byron.
There's Penske running over 3rd, 4th, and 8th. The advance auto parts cam on Brian Blaney.
Yeah, this is going to come down to what happens on pit road. If this thing goes green to the end of the stage, who's going to get on and off of pit road better than the other? What's really interesting is you've got the 12 car all the way back in pit stall number 41.
18 laps to go in stage number 2.
A little difficult to get into.
And after we reach stage 2, the race will be official. If we were to see any more rain, they could call the race. It's not definite that they will call the race, but it is for sure that the race will end tonight. You know, we're not going to come back tomorrow.
Thanks, Jamie. The prior races here at Martinsville were 500 laps. Tonight we're running 400. But in the last 8 races here, one driver has hit the right combination and led nearly half the laps of the race, as Chase Elliott has done tonight. All the last 8 races, somebody has hit it spot on. Doesn't necessarily mean that driver went to victory lane.
A lot of reasons go along with that, right, Mike? Because you think about it, limited practice, maybe not even qualifying during the pandemic. You unload, you've got what you got, run what you
You forgot the F1 races tonight? Yeah, it is. Because it's Australia, so time zones are weird.
Same here. We did have practice, we did have qualifying, but very short.
So yeah, it's like 1 a.m. I'm not watching that,
easy
but
for somebody to hit that just right. Or I should say better than others, maybe not just right.
True. Kevin Harvick in 9th place. There's your subway cam. With Austin Dillon behind. Then it's Kyle Larson, Kurt Busch, and Alex Bowman in 13th.
But I have no clue what it is. It's kind of shaking. What's shaking? Feels like something with a rear tire or something.
Oh man, that is nerve-wracking in today's day and age. Obviously, we've all seen loose wheels. We've seen things that don't result in suspensions for teams and jack bed and tire changers, but you know, there's a bunch of things that it could be. It could be a tire, it could be a transaxle. Who knows right now? Maybe Larry, have you got some intel?
Well, the only thing I'm seeing, Chad, is remember, we ran 80 straight laps in that first stage, and remember the report about some of the right rears being worn out. So we've run that far. We only have 11 laps to go in this stage, but that would make me really nervous to hear that right now.
And this stage 20 laps longer than the first as Austin Dillon. After Kevin Harvick, and at 6th place, Eric Almirola working his way back toward the front on Christopher Bell. Austin Dillon completed the pass on Harvick. Almirola's got a fight on his hands here.
I just don't see the track laying down the rubber that I expected it to, Chad. I heard you say that several times, and for whatever reason, it almost looks brand new, like it's got 10 laps on it.
It tried. You could see it. It was starting to lay rubber on the exit of turn 2 over there, where we got a really good shot of that from up here in the Fox booth. But unfortunately, it's just stopped. It gets to that point where it's got a little bit of shadowing, and it doesn't get any worse.
It's only about 40 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And that could well be a factor.
Yeah, but 173 laps down, a lot of racing, you know, with the trucks and the Xfinity, I would have thought that it would have had more rubber than it does.
Almirola completed his pass and got up to 6th place. And let's show you the track from the start of the race and what it looks like right now. Well, that was what it looked like coming to the green flag. And
cruising on up there as the 5 car, all the way back up into 11th after having a pretty ugly first stage. Came in and got some changes, and they're starting to get back up there. You know, up 3 spots. That's the start. They'll be back in this thing as well.
Got in them adjustments. A lot of teams.
All right, y'all. 5 laps to go in stage 2. Chase Elliott has led every lap of the stage. He's actually led every lap of the race. He's led the first 175 laps tonight. 5 laps to go till the end of stage 2. That is when the race will be official. Now, I don't think we'll see any more rain tonight, but if we do, they could call the race after we reach the lap 180 mark, which we're about to hit right here in 4 laps. Doesn't mean they will call the race, but it means that we won't, you know, come back tomorrow and race. It means the race will end tonight.
Seems like it's spinning clear past the flag stand, and if you took care of those tires, like I think Austin Dillon is doing, you could really capitalize on that maybe in the last 20 laps of a run.
3 to go in the season, and trying to stay on the lead lap now is Bubba Wallace. He pretty well overcame that penalty. He restarted in the back. Chase Elliott was able to catch Bubba, but has not been able to pass him.
This whole run, he's been on his heels. They've been following. Honestly, the 9 has been following the 23 through all of this lap traffic.
And here's Austin. I'm telling you, just within the last 10 laps, past 3 or 4 cars, long run speed is definitely underneath him, in his favor.
All right, final lap of stage 2 here. Chase Elliott trying to lap some more cars, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Chase Elliott is going to win stage number 2 here from Martinsville. Oh, but he gets bumped by Suarez as Suarez tries to get back and lead a lap. It's not going to work, and Chase Elliott wins stage number 2. And the caution is out.
And Bubba Wallace hangs on to the lead lap.
Yeah, Suarez was 2 laps down right there. That would have been.
That was fun. That was Yeah, Suarez was trying to get back on the. No, he was trying to get back to 1 lap down, I believe.
So the 99 trying to get back 1 of his 2 laps right here.
Oh, jeez.
Man, you got to do that stuff, though. You got it.
Chase Elliott gets his 6th Martinsville stage win. 5th time he's swept both stages in a race.
So Chase Elliott has led the first 182 laps tonight.
Innovation usually looks something like this.
So his perfect game is still alive. If somebody stays out, though, on this next pit stop, that kind of fucks it.
Family home. Or an ordinary drive made extraordinary. Let's change what innovation looks like. From floating around in your own personal space capsule up here to what we could build for all Americans down here.
Sandwiches shouldn't come from a tanning salon. They should be served straight from the fryer and piping hot. That's Kentucky Fried to order. KFC, it's finger licking good.
In my experience, if you work the land, you got to be a jack of all trades. You got to have a little bit of optimism, a little bit of idealism, and a whole lot of get-go.
The WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns and the Usos attempt to assert bloodline domination by attempting to dethrone RK-Bro. It's an all-new edition of Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern on Fox.
You don't marry the like of your life, you marry the love of your life. And on your wedding day, you don't want to like the way you look, you want to love the way you look. And we're here to help with designers like Joseph Abboud, Calvin Klein, and Vera Wang. Men's Warehouse, love the way you look.
This weekend, Red Lobster's Ultimate Endless Shrimp is on for just $19.99. Enjoy our biggest, best shrimp, like jumbo coconut shrimp and garlic shrimp scampi. It's an endless shrimp weekend. Don't miss out.
Dear gas prices, Toyota's hybrid lineup says, go take a hike, because we bring efficiency with power and savings with style. Think you can stand in our way? We got this. Toyota Hybrids.
Get 2.49% APR financing for a full 60 months on the fuel-efficient Highlander or Highlander Hybrid. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
witness the rise of the Northmen.
My kingdom was stolen from me. Revenge is all I have ever known.
So we've had no cautions tonight for cause. It's been the stage cautions have been our only cautions tonight. I don't think this is the last of our cautions, though. I definitely think we got some more stuff happening. See, people find it boring. I don't know. I kind of like seeing Chase Elliott just dominate.
It will be all important here at Martinsville in a race in which we have not seen a caution flag.
It's kind of fun to see, like, is he going to lead every lap?
2 stage breaks.
Will he lead every lap?
184 laps complete. We have an official race. And Chase Elliott has, well, boys.
This doesn't feel like a NASCAR race. I'll be completely honest. I don't know how to describe it. It just doesn't feel like a NASCAR race.
This could be the equalizer right here. What happens on pit road? This is a really touchy one right here. Watch the 12.
So yeah, if Chase Elliott doesn't win the race off pit road here, his perfect game is over.
Hitting his marks for Ryan Blaney. He said
So he's got to have a good pit stop.
On entry, car was really good on the long run there. His teammate Joey Logano on the right could be freer off, is all he has said. A 4-tire stop there, and William Byron in the 24. He said his only complaint is just needs those rear tires to hang on a little bit longer. They told him to take care of it early. Megan.
Chase Elliott, the 9 car, very good with that car, as we've mentioned earlier. Opening 5 laps, the only issue for him, just a little bit too tight. Said he had to guard the rears a little bit as that run went out.
Oh, there's a loose wheel on pit road. William Byron wins the race off pit road, and Chase Elliott's perfect game is over.
Blaney beats Logano by a spot. Austin Dillon, Eric Almirola, and Austin Cindric each pick up 1. Paul Custer pumps that tire out.
I think it may have come from the 20, Christopher Bell.
All right, we'll check on that. Meanwhile, who's on the radio?
Man, I'm going with my man Austin Dillon, flexing some muscles now.
I saw the tires on rib wheels. What happened there?
They have to hang. He wants to know why that tire was. Hey, Austin Dillon, it's Boyer and the boys up the booth. You got us?
Yeah, man. How's it going up there?
Man, not as good as it's going in that race car. Tell me about it. You started 23rd all the way up to 6th. Got things going on.
Yeah, man, this get by with an Chevy's really fast on the long run. It takes off a little snug, but we got forward drive when everybody else starts to lack it. So we're going to keep on charging, see what we can do with this thing.
All right, buddy, keep marching.
Austin Dillon up into the top 10, and he picked up another spot.
Damn, I really hate these stage cautions, man. It really sucks, because, like, it'd be cool to see just, like, a caution-free race. I know a lot of people wouldn't like that idea, but it would just be cool to see for, like, history's sake. Like, I know it's happened before, but it just hasn't happened since 2002, so.
I figured it out. 7th time's a charm.
I would have to say you jinxed him, probably.
Halloween.
Sorry, Chase.
From the mouth of a gangster. Maybe that's exactly what they need. Haven't given up on you. Still wants to make you better.
Father Stew, exclusively in movie theaters Wednesday. Rated R.
I know there's conflicting information about Dupatree's contraction.
I thought I couldn't get treatment yet.
Well, people may think that their contracture has to be severe to be treated, but it doesn't. If you can't lay your hand flat on the table, talk to a hand specialist.
But what if I don't want surgery?
Well, then you should find a hand specialist certified to offer non-surgical treatments.
What's the next step?
Visit findahandspecialist.com today to get started.
Hanging that big old TV with just a little lean. You deserve a delicious Dr. Pepper.
I do?
Oh, yeah! You're not the only one. Maybe you got the kids to school.
But I was 20 minutes late.
Oh, mama, parenting is hard. And you're sweet that you're doing great.
I just passed this test that proves I'm not a bot.
Not a bot. So hot.
Hi, I'm Johnny Johnny Bench. After a Hall of Fame career, it's no wonder I use Blue Emu. Blue Emu's non-greasy, deep penetrating formula gets down deep into those joints for big-time comfort and without any of that funky smell. Blue Emu, it works fast and you won't stink.
America, I got you.
We told Reggie Miller Wendy's will give away our amazing breakfast biscuits for $1 for every bucket he makes.
No luck.
Truth is, we were going to do it anyhow.
Want a better biscuit for $1? Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
It's an absolute hack.
Catch all that?
I'm ready to rip somebody's freaking head off.
Or that? Well, get ready for this, and a whole lot of this. I am Full Throttle. I am Nascar.
Yes. Fine. The weather tech's here.
WeatherTech is the ultimate protection for your vehicle. Laser measured floor liners, no drill mud flaps, cargo liner, bump step, seat protector, and cup phone.
What about my car?
WeatherTech.
Tony Stewart having a look at the tires that came off of Eric Almirola's car on that pit stop.
Tony Stewart's just the tire guy now, I guess. That's like his new job.
eBay Motors pit performance for the season through the first 7
Boobs.
races.
I love boobs.
You see the 10, the 41, and the 4.
What is up with Cole Custer? Why is he just stopped on the track?
4 tire stops under caution. Now we saw Cole Custer hit a tire coming out of his
What
pit.
is he doing?
Watch upper right of your screen.
Oh, did he get a penalty and he's just stopped because he's like waiting for cars to pass him?
Custer ran all 185 laps in the top 5 prior to this. He will serve his first penalty of 2022. And his tires, by the way, looked fine. No corning.
Man, very costly. Not a ton of effort for that guy trying to capture that tire. With a tire carrier dropping off the guy behind the wall.
For as important of a big penalty as it is, he could have helped Regan.
Hey, Mike, very interesting. So when these tires come off the race cars, the crew guys use a dial caliper. They measure this little dot right here and then write the numbers down on the tire. Look at these numbers on that inside edge of the right rear tire. 53, 17, 24. That is a wore-out tire right there. These tires are actually wearing out and using the rubber up. It's just not going on the racetrack. Numbers as big as 68, 74 on the left rear. So these tires very interesting tonight.
Very much so. William Byron is elected the outside for the restart against his Hendrick Chevy teammate, Chase Elliott. And we'll see if an arrangement is in play for him to cross over in front as they hit the Geico restart zone. Byron and Elliott.
All right, back green here at Martinsville. Stage 3 is underway. We have 208 laps to go.
Joey Logano now charging for second.
I don't know, I feel like taking the 100 laps off this race made it significantly shorter.
Agree with me. Oh, he didn't get down. Ryan Blaney got underneath him, but Ryan got on the curb. Had to lift. Gave him the spot.
We are getting some new players into this game here in the late stages at the start of stage 3. I mean, this is exciting. 2 Hendrick, 2 Penske, got an RCR car up there, and 1 Gibbs guy.
That 9 car slipping, sliding around behind Willie B. Something tells me you get that 24 car out front, that thing's gonna handle.
It's 2 a.m. and when's the race over, you think? Well, so we're 5 laps from halfway, so I feel like this is a good time. Like, it's pretty much close enough to halfway. An hour and 20 minutes into this race, we have been, so I'd imagine like 3 more minutes maybe for, like 2 more minutes. So like an hour 22 minutes for the first half. If it were to be like the same, it'd just be another hour 22 minutes. So this race could be over within the next hour and a half probably. But you give and take cautions. That's a possibility.
Now remember,
Or if there's no cautions, it might be a little less because we didn't have the stage cautions in the first half. So yeah.
So he did get one of those laps back by taking the wave around between stages, but he's on worn tire.
He is going to need a caution very quick. Might have one right here.
16th place, Chris Buescher goes after Ross Chastain.
Ross Chastain and Chris Buescher racing hard right here for 16th. Kyle Busch up into the top 10. I'm happy to see that. That's good. Good. Just bear with it, Winval. It'll be over. You know, enjoy it.
Chastain, I've been here before, cannot find a hole in this ride. Needs to get down. He can get down, and he's in the way of the next car. Such a frustrating situation at a track this tight. All right, here he comes back down. See if he can find a spot, find a rhythm, regroup.
Times of desperation are picking up right now, right? You're going to be battling for track position. You're going to be doing everything you can to try to get yourself set up. We've got one more time that we're going to have to pit in this final stage for fuel just to make it to the end. Now,
so we are past halfway now.
If you can. I don't think you're really going to see too many folks want to split this stage. So what everybody's trying to do is battle for that track position right now. So when they come down pit road for that final time, they've got something they can work with for the final bit of the race.
This race has had one lead change, and was William Byron beating Chase Elliott out of the pits. So here's Elliott now in an unaccustomed second place.
Logano was boinking people out of the way, and Blake just followed him through. He was pretty aggressive at 22, pushing people out of the way. Yeah, I mean, that's probably what you're going to have to do. I just hate to do that so early, you know? Because you're going to see those guys, 100%.
Spotter Eddie DeHaan talking about how stage 2 ended up.
Pretty smart play, thinking about that, right? Like, you don't want to rough somebody up.
Yeah, these cars are fast at the short track. Like, I feel like the next gen cars are faster at short tracks.
You're gonna have to anyway. You get down to the end of this thing, it doesn't matter if he's upset with you or not. You're gonna have to move him out of the way.
Check your feelings at the crossover gate. Jamie?
William Byron leading for the first time tonight. His pit crew did a great job, got him off in front of his teammate Chase Elliott. Big celebration all around, but William Byron, you can't say enough about what he's been doing during the week to get better at places like this. Ran the Truck Series race on Thursday just to get some extra laps. Well, he won, and we know what that does for a driver. It gives him a lot of confidence, and that's what he's driving with right now.
Absolutely. Byron's been out in front for 20 laps. Chase Elliott led 185.
Kind of sucks that the only pass for the lead so far didn't even happen under green flag. It only happened like during caution flag pit stops. Let's crank it up.
He gets in, but he can't get off.
Right through the store.
Yeah, I think this race will just be a one-stop race from this point.
Which one is it? Securing the package now. Seriously? Guys, abort mission. Get your helmets. You guys are gonna love this thing.
I told you we should have just called them.
Welcome to the Eat Fresh Refresh at Subway.
Wait, that's new. Wait, you're new too.
Nobody told you? Subway's refreshing with better ingredients.
So what are your thoughts on Motorspace Games more than likely not releasing the next NASCAR game / 2023 NASCAR game since they are broke? I mean, fucking good. They fucked up on the first one. I mean, obviously I know the first game, it's going to be like NASCAR Heat Evolution. Like, think about the NASCAR Heat series. Like, Heat Evolution sucked. But it got better and better and slowly got better, and it was actually a pretty good game by Heat 5, and I really like it. So, I mean, who knows? In a few games from now, they could have, you know, a masterpiece, a gem, but so I can't say fuck them. I'm glad they're going out of business, because that just means we're probably gonna get a new developer who's gonna make some shit game for the next 2 years, and then, you know, we'll get a good game in 3 years, something like that. Heat Evolution is not bad, but it ain't butter smooth. Heat Evolution sucks. So let's not sit here and pretend that it's not bad or it doesn't suck. It fucking sucks. It was fun for the time. I had a lot of fun with it, but it sucked.
1947, Clay Earl's brand new racetrack, a dirt track. A packed house of fans showed up in their Sunday best. They got covered with dirt. So did winner Red Byron. DW among those who made that trip to Martinsville's Victory Lane and won themselves the grandfather clock. 75 years of great racing history, one of NASCAR's original racetracks. And the only one on this Cup schedule besides Indianapolis that predates the formation of NASCAR.
Oh, that's a nugget. Did you know that, Blair?
No, but I know this is your second week. But this week it's lap after lap after lap of Mike Joy's vast historical knowledge. We were talking about trains for crying out loud earlier today, and we knew all about trains on the back straightaway in 1923. That first train first came by here. Oh, pretty sure he was probably there.
Stop it. You're a big steam engine fan.
I am.
As you sit here, folks, just so you know back at home, when I'm in here at the broadcast booth and I'm in the meetings with these guys at Fox Sports, I get so much knowledge from Mike and Larry Mack and all this goodness. I mean, there's nuggets, there's information.
Oh,
and then I sit back there and Boyer interjects, and I'm like, where in the world is he taking this train? I don't even know.
Thank goodness there's tracks.
Oh man, we love Clint.
Promise it'll be eventful.
That's right.
Probably off the track, though.
Christopher Bell has been the leading Toyota in this race all night long and currently in 6th place. Restarted 5th, Eric Almirola outside pole sitter. Restarted 8th, he is up 1 spot to 7th. Bell is your Toyota top performer with 172 laps to go in 6th. Kurt and Kyle Busch, 8th and 9th. Martin Truex, 13th. Bubba Wallace, 20th, and Denny Hamlin still a lap back in 26th.
Imagine EA taking over again. I wouldn't hate that.
2 Chevys leading 2 Fords.
Motorsports Games is Heat 3. No, 704 Games made the Heat series. Motorsports Games is the one who makes the Ignition series. But no, NASCAR Heat 3 was not the best game in from there. NASCAR Heat 5 or... Well, NASCAR Heat 4 and Heat 5 are pretty much the same game, so...
Kind of reeling in, Byron. Just a little bit, maybe a tenth of a second a lap or so.
I wouldn't mind if iRacing X Monster Games take over. I mean, if iRacing expanded to a console, that'd be amazing. I mean, it really would. That'd be, like, game-changing. Dude, if iRacing went to console, I would fucking immediately buy the steering wheel, the pedals, the fucking gear shifter thing. We would be set the fuck up. But they're not going to do that.
Man, Larry, I'll tell you, buddy, I get on pins and needles at this place when you start to talk about pitting under green. And I can remember sitting on the pit box down here a few years ago with one of my engineers, and we're contemplating this exact thing. And he's like, man, we need to pit. These guys
Hi, Sheena. Who's a good girl?
I'm like, man, I really feel like that we're going to
Who's a good girl, Sheena?
Somebody's going to blow.
Here's my baby.
Somebody's going to spin out.
Here's my sweet dog.
It definitely happened. A few laps later, we had a car blow a right front tire.
Oh, I love
Sheena. And we were one of only 4 or 5 cars on the lead lap. It set us up in a position to win the race. So, me personally, I'm going to drag this thing out. I'm going to go all the way into my fuel.
Sheena smells like stinky.
What? That's so conservative. We've made 235 laps. Have we even had a caution?
So I've got to ask you, have you, while waiting for someone else's misfortune, did it ever befall you?
We're releasing a World of Outlaws game. That's cool. Hey, dude, currently, DoorDashing just dropped in to see what's going on. Oh, you're DoorDashing. Well, stop DoorDashing and watch the damn race. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm enjoying the race. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying this race is pretty boring because it's been just green flag runs and, you know, only one lead change, 2 different leaders. I don't know. I've been enjoying it. I mean, I kind of like seeing, you know, sometimes I like seeing these races. Not all the time, but sometimes it's not terrible to see some long green flag runs, you know? You need money? You see the fight last night? Buddy, I laughed so hard last night, like harder than I've ever laughed in my entire life watching that fight. Last night was something else. Not to mention I was pretty crossfaded, but...
This has to be 6 next week. What do you do? Boss comes to you and says, I don't care. Something has to change next week.
You know, something that's interesting that I...
Ty Gibbs is an idiot. I love Ty Gibbs. Like, I defend everything Ty Gibbs did last night, except for one thing. Like, last night, I think Ty Gibbs only did one thing wrong. One thing. You want to know what that is? He didn't take the helmet off. You're supposed to fucking take the helmet off if you're going to fight. Like, that's the only thing I got to say about what he did last night. Everything else, I defend him on. I feel like Sam Mayer was kind of being a prick. I still like Sam Mayer. Don't get me wrong. I like Sam Mayer still, but Sam Mayer was being kind of a prick. He was racing like a prick, and then he came up on pit road like a prick, so he got his shit knocked. I mean, that's kind of what you get. I do think Ty Gibbs should have taken off his helmet, though.
The only person that's ever agreed with me or ever said that. Oh, God, I was confused.
159 laps laps to go, and William Byron out front.
As a Main Street bank, PNC has helped over 7 million kids develop their passion for learning through our Grow Up Great initiative. And now, we're providing billions of dollars for affordable home lending programs as part of $88 billion to support underserved communities, including loans for small businesses and low and moderate income areas. So everyone has a chance to move forward financially. PNC Bank. See how we can make a difference for you.
When you step into a new day, determined, committed, willing to take on whatever's asked of you, that new day is yours to own, yours to shape, and yours to be proud of. Ram, J.D. Power's #1 brand in new vehicle quality.
Right now, during Ram Truck Month, get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn.
Call Logano. Hey, Joey, you can save money if you fill up a shell if you use Advanced Auto Parts speed perks. Dude, I'm way ahead of you.
I feel like next gen at Bristol, like real Bristol, will be fun.
The pump. He saved at the pump. Woo!
Now you can save at the pump when you shop at Advance Auto Parts. Learn more at advanceautoparts.com/gas rewards.
Now, it's my turn.
Applebee's Irresistibles are back, now starting at $8.99. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Woo! Sorry, I just locked in a great refinancing rate for my student loans with Credible.com. Woo! I'm the Credible.
It's either credible or it's not.
Bobby Labonte's at the race tonight. That's cool.
24/7 forecasting in real time.
When storms hit, more people watch Fox Weather. From across the country
To just around the corner. Fox Weather. Stream live now on your favorite device.
152 laps to go in the Blue Emu maximum pain relief 400 at Martinsville. And Daniel Suarez and Chase Elliott got together last lap. The first time tonight.
Y'all might be talking shit on this race, but hey, just wait. Just wait a little bit. You know how these races are, and then how you know how they end up. So just give us some time. Give it a little bit of, give it a little patience.
The nine's been out there running. He's been up to speed. Everything's running pretty well for him right there. It takes a few laps. And they threw a
Yeah, it's boring for now, but hey, give it time.
We're coming into
You
the
know?
stage. Everybody's going to have to pit one more time. Let's give it a go. Let's see if we can make something happen to get one lap down.
The 9 car.
I remember I went to like one of the most boring races ever, Dover 2018, the fall race. That was like the most boring fucking race. It was literally like, usually I go to a race and even if it's boring, I still have fun just because I'm at the race. No, I was actually genuinely getting bored even at the race. And then around the final 50 laps came and, some cautions came out, and it was actually a really pretty good race towards the end of the race. So you got to give it time, let it heat up, It's just getting started.
A lot riding on these last 147 laps here.
Yeah, the last 50 laps will be fun.
Just for a note, okay, caution comes out right now. You can come down, you can pit, you make it to the end of the race, right? We're past that window, so we're in the stage of the race where everything's going to be fine if the caution comes out and we come down the road and get fuel and tires.
I'm going to tell you, and I don't mean to be Debbie Downer here, I don't think the caution's coming out unless somebody makes it come out, right? I need you to start really buckling down and make sure that I win this race. And that's two different conversations here. We're talking the 24 and the 9. If you're Chase Elliott, how is your strategy going to put me in front of that 24? Because it may have to be your strategy that I rely on.
Yeah, this is a tough one. And again, you can call me conservative, you can call me whatever you want, but but at this racetrack, I just think waiting to the end makes sense. I know it's going to be faster if you go ahead and you pit a little bit earlier. But man, I just think the risk versus reward, and that's something you always have to weigh as a crew chief. And you do it as a driver, right? You're like, okay, do I poke my nose in there at this time or do I wait? Same as a crew chief. You're like, man, you just got to wait it out. And history's going to tell me, keep it going.
Shortening this race by 100 laps, does that make it tougher to make that decision?
Of course. I mean, everything is amplified. Everything gets ramped up a little bit quicker. You know, you come up on lap cars, they have more anxiety. They're like, man, I don't have more of an opportunity to get the lap back. It's the same way all the way around.
Look at the difference that one costly mistake on pit road is made to the 41 car Cole Custer. We're talking top 5 material all weekend long. One mistake by that right rear tire getting away from them on pit road, and now he's on the brink of going a lap down
in 21st place.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
This has been an insanely short race.
Yeah, it might start to get a little rough here if William can't get his nose down underneath him right there. It might get ugly. And now you got the 99 car coming back into play. He's got fresh tires, right? So he's running for his life, hoping that everybody else is going to come down pit road under him.
It's that sense of urgency. I'm okay riding behind him now. As soon as the 9 car breaks free and starts gaining on me, which my spotter's going to tell me, it's time to go. I need to put the front bumper to him, move him out of the way, and get going.
But Daniel Suarez is not really in play here. He is 6 laps down. He'll pick up at least one of those laps when drivers make their green flag stop, and he has, I don't know, maybe he's got nothing to lose, but 6 laps down, where are you going to go? Forward on fresh tires, that's for sure.
There he is. He's right. The only hope he's got right now, he's getting one of his laps back right now, he's whipping it really hard, is that the field does exactly what Clint is saying, goes all the way and everybody has to pit under green, and that gets him back in a similar cycle as to everybody else. But unfortunately, I don't see it changing a whole lot. I think he's still going to end up a couple laps down.
I don't think you can look too far again. You know, as we're starting to catch these lap traffic.
Larson and Harvick are bumping each other.
Yeah, Logano 1.3 seconds back, the 2 Penske Fords pretty much running nose to tail just as the Hendrick Chevys are up front. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now Byron is going to move Cole Custer.
That's that time. I told you, as soon as that 9 car breaks loose, that's going to determine when I'm going to have to lay the bumper to Cole Custer. Now I'm going to try to do it to where the 9, see, he got held up. Cole Custer cleared him, and look at the difference with this 22 car. Capitalized, caught them all within a matter of just 2 laps.
That was just what Joey Logano wanted to see.
And his teammates right in tow. Ryan Blaney, you're riding with him right now.
But for more on William Byron, here's Jamie.
Well, his 2 biggest fans, his parents, mom and dad, sitting atop the pit box, watching their son lead this race. Mike, if you remember back to 1 year ago at this very race, Dana Byron right there fell ill suddenly. Well, after testing, they found out that she had a brain tumor. 1 year later, she has a clean bill of health, and she's able to be back at the track, enjoying this moment as William continues to lead.
Yeah, wonderful to see her back at the track with her husband Bill, William's dad, and leading this race after going to victory lane in the Truck Series earlier this weekend. Kurt Busch is now, for the first time tonight, the leading Toyota in this race, passing Christopher Bell.
Which I'm glad to see. It tells me, man, I thought I saw this yesterday. Those 2311 cars seem to be fast. I thought really they were going to be a factor. So Kurt Busch marching up through the field, the closing laps of this race inside the top 10, backs up what I saw.
And you're right, we saw that with Bubba Wallace. He was right in front of the 9 car that whole stage 2, just led him all the way through all of those laps, all 100 of them.
Bubba is now 20th, the last car on the lead lap, with 130 to go in Martinsville, Virginia.
Welcome to the future. Some assembly required. But if there's one thing this country has always embraced, it's a challenge. And after almost 120 years of building for those challenges, we're taking the vehicles you know by name and making them electric by revolutionizing the way they're built and where they're assembled. Not for the few, but for the many.
Pain happens in many forms, but that doesn't scare Blue either. Delivering fast-acting pain relief in a cream, spray, and lidocaine in a soft foam applicator. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink. An official partner of Nascar.
Next Saturday on FS1, it's time for the reigning champion Braves. It's time for Manny Machado and the Padres. Coverage begins next Saturday at 3 Eastern on FS1.
We're here to catch all of your Central New York sports in one place. Catch the Toyota Sports Report exclusively on Spectrum News 1. Your local pro, college, and high school teams you care about. Get the latest sports news right here in Central New York with the Toyota Sports Report.
Toyota Sports Report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Syracuse.
Get ready for electricity. As head of the table, Roman Reigns and big-time Becky Lynch come to town for WWE Super Show. Don't miss 3 massive title bouts in a triple main event. Roman Reigns with championship gold. Find out at WWE Super Show, live from Syracuse, Sunday, April 17th. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages on sale now.
Laps to go in Martinsville, Virginia. William Byron has been out front for the last 92 of those. So let's take a look at tonight's Credit One Bank ones to watch.
Man, you got to go with the leader, Willie B. William Byron, that 24 car, beat him out of the pits, took charge of this race. I think he's going to win, folks. I really do.
You know, Clint, Martinsville is like a home game for Richard Childress Racing. Austin Dillon in that 3-car started about outside the top 20. Good on the long runs. Could he be looking at his second top 5 of 2022?
I've got to go with the 9-car. Only driver in Hendrick Motorsports that hasn't gotten a win yet this year. 3 runner-up finishes since his last win. Got the #1 pit stall, and we've got to make 1 more pit stop. I'm going with that 9.
Chad, I'm going to go with the 10-car. Eric Almirola started this race second. Been in the top 7 pretty much the entire night. A strong, long-run race car. And you know what? Tony Stewart, his boss, has been on the pit box with him all night long. Give me Eric Almirola.
Joey Logano looking for his first win of the season, putting that 2-2 Twain up into second place. We'll see what happens over these last 100 laps. Can he snap a 36 race?
Odd, no bots. Yeah, you'd think there'd be more bots.
One bank ones to watch as we see the change of second place.
And here it is.
We might have Dom.
Coming through. We talked about it. And
we might have Dom next week.
Talking about this. When do you lay the bumper to? The time is now. Joey Logano
on the stream.
The 9-car at Chase
I invited him over for Bristol Dirt, and I think he said he is coming for Talladega. So we'll definitely have him for Talladega, but we might have him for Bristol Dirt. He's visiting his friends in Connecticut, and he's coming back Sunday. So he said if he gets back and when it's still going on, he'll come over.
He wanted a long run. Really felt like his #3 Chevrolet really started to take off in the late stages. And man, it is coming on strong right now.
Well, this race is certainly playing right into his favor. See if it continues that way. If it does,
hi, Winval.
I think for sure a top 3.
And like that, Chase Elliott has been dropped to 5th place.
Yeah, it really hurts my feelings.
Chase Elliott to 5th place.
But look at the difference. Gave up that lead, lost the lead on that pit road We heard him talk about his page. Couldn't switch that page. One thing Chad and I both saw, he was slow on his pit road speed. Larry pointed out that the pit stop was a second half slower, but I'm telling you, his rolling speed was off. The 24 drove right to his bumper.
I tell you, the biggest thing I see with this 9 car right now is how bad the lap time has fallen off. And you know, we were talking a while ago, these guys can go quite a ways more on fuel, probably another 50 laps. Alan Gustafson may have to think about short pitting this 9 car just because of what I'm seeing in lap times.
Well, Elliott has the fastest lap of the race, but here's your Xfinity fastest last lap. Joey Logano trying to catch William Byron. He's 1.4 back. At the fastest time, Austin Dillon, Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney the fast time.
I like what I heard Larry said right there, Chad. We heard you say, man, I'm holding strong. I'm going to wait. I think a caution could come out. I don't think it would be worth it. If you start to see your driver slipping back, losing spots, how much do you have to see there before you call him in, try to short pit, and make up some of that time?
Oh, man, you're really putting me on the spot here.
Yes, sir.
This is not the position that I want to be in, but that's, you know, we got to listen to these guys because you got to pay attention to what everybody in the field is saying. You've got your crews, your engineer, everybody's listening and scanning. If you start to hear some chatter, that people might start to be doing it, once again, just like we said originally, you've got to be on the front side of it. You got to be the first one to draw it if you start hearing people talk about it.
Regan?
Mike, just the update tonight, and Chase Elliott sliding back just a little bit. Reported a few laps go to the team, then he hurt the right rear of that race car. Ever since then, he's been loose with the car. Can't get drive off, struggling more and more.
I think that all comes down to giving up that lead. I think it all comes down, just like I said, giving up that lead, not having the affordability of that clean air, coming off the bricks, rolling into the corner, managing every aspect of that long run. He didn't have that as soon as you put that 24 car William Byron in front of him.
Watching third and fourth place here from Ryan Blaney, and Kyle Busch comes to pit road.
Your first one to clinch right there, guys. This will open up, potentially open up the floodgates to start seeing.
So Kyle Busch is pitting.
19 coming also. This is what Alan Gustafson has been wanting to see. These other guys start to do this. If he's going to do it, he's going to be doing it here quickly.
Like you see the 18 o'clock.
Kyle Busch's pits.
You mentioned, or the first spin, I should say, all night long. Doesn't matter what he does, just too tight with that race car. Cannot get that race car to turn. And the 19 of Martin Truex Jr., same deal. He has been tight in traffic all night long. Pretty good by himself, but cannot turn that race car.
Another 4-tire change. Justin Haley is in. Otherwise, pit road is vacant right now with 107 to go.
That'll probably be their that'll be their last pit stop of the race. They'll be good to the end.
Alex Bowman goes down one. As Cole Custer did earlier.
Heard him talk about that vibration he had. It has to be something going ill in the back of that car because he was so strong early in the race.
Brad Keselowski makes his stop. Wow, Truex came out and almost cleaned out a bunch of cars and he's got a problem.
Oh shit, Truex has an issue.
Right out of the pits.
Fuck you, Truex.
Is it on the right front?
It looks like the right front's flat. The right front tire looks like it's flat.
Truex has an issue.
Definitely down on the rim.
Yeah.
Christopher Bell is in. Truex.
I don't think that'll be a caution because he will get off, but.
And we stay green.
Chad, can you knock the valve?
Oh, he's got smoke. Yeah, he's definitely got an issue.
How does a tire come out flat right off
Fuck
the
you,
pit stop
Truex.
like that?
Kind of odd to see that happen.
Brad's Chrome 6 scheme is so clean. Yeah, I love it.
This is a new one on me. We're going to have to wait and investigate this a little bit sooner, or a little bit later, but it's definitely a flat tire, but he could have run something over.
Alex Bowman and Tyler Reddick are in as green flag stops continue. And another car went high up the racetrack.
And he was my win pick. I mean, I didn't want him to win, but he was my win pick, and he was Jaden's win pick too.
Chase Elliott on pit road.
And these guys coming on and off of pit road are the things. The 48 car just locked up big time getting into turn 3 on those cold tires. This is when you get your caution. This is why you continue to stretch it, because it could show up like that. And obviously, Rudy and the 24 guys right now, they're thinking, we're going to hold serve.
Christopher Bell's team over the wall too soon. Regan.
All night long, one of the strong suit.
Christopher Bell has a penalty. That's actually
to
big.
manage those tires, in particular the rear tires, but not this run.
He was running pretty well tonight.
Very loose after that happened. You see him making the 4-tire pit stop now.
It sucks.
Kurt Busch is in. Chris Buescher.
So right now, William Byron is out there running a 2050. The 18 car is running a 2030. So tenths of a second faster. Jamie, what have you got on pit road?
Well, Bubba Wallace, and remember they had that penalty earlier with the pit crew as they worked on the left side of it. Two-time Truck Series winner here, but he said, Mike, with this new car, it has changed the game. He's had to learn how to drive this track in a completely different way.
Cars are coming out of the pits with no heat in the tires and sliding way up in turns 3 and 4. And everybody has to run for cover when those cars come off before they build any heat.
This is when the money's on the line. Oh, 45's coming out, trying to get some temperature in his. This is when the mistakes start happening. Crunch time on pit road, no mistakes. Do not get caught speeding. No too soon over the wall. Everybody hit your marks. Cannot afford to make a mistake.
Jamie.
Kevin Harvick coming off his best run in the year of second. They feel like they're really starting to hit their stride. It showed in practice yesterday and tonight, doing a nice job. You see the Chelsea adjustment there, but running top 10.
Did you see baseball game?
Started tight, felt like the
Which one?
tightening up more. That's the biggest problem for them.
Cole Custer.
Lakers are no longer in playoff contention. Yeah, I heard about that. It's kind of funny. I mean, I like the Lakers, but it's still kind of funny just for like the meme. Like everyone laughs at them, so it is kind of. I like the Lakers, but at the same time, they are also funny to laugh at.
I was wondering if the 3, as fast as he was on those, backside of those runs, if he'd stay out. He did, and everybody on pit road, Jamie.
3 of Austin Dillon been really good, as you guys have documented. You even talked to him. Gets better as that long run goes. To this race has played right into his hands. The 24 of William Byron as well. They have been solid. That clean air has been really good for the 2014. There's 4 tires there.
Austin Cindric.
The Tigers walked off yesterday. I did not see that, but
where does the 24
that's cool. I mean, the Tigers seem to be doing better.
In relationship to the cars that pitted first. So the 18, we got the 9 pitted before him. Where does he come out in relationship to those guys?
Well, Kyle Larson's going to come back in. Too fast exiting pit road for number 5.
That's that costly air that I was talking about. Cannot afford those mistakes. This last green flag pit stop.
Oh, Blaney has an issue.
To make it up.
He was 9th.
Maybe not. It just looked like he did.
On pit road, Michael
Larson has a penalty? That sucks.
So,
it looks like Blaney was like
and Todd Gilliland,
3 penalties
Eric
already.
Jones, Denny Hamlin have not made their pit stop.
And Blaney is pitting.
JJ Yaley is in, and here's Gilliland. Jamie.
Blaney stops right on that number 12 pit.
2 in an issue, yeah.
He can't get into the corner like he'd like to, battling with his teammate Joey Logano for a while there, have a nice run going. They'll adjust a little bit with air pressure and 4 tires.
Blaney pits.
Now, just before pitting, Blaney and Almirola on fresh tires.
Oh, it was Almirola got into Blaney. That's what was up.
Back right there on the leader. So pit stop cycle's complete. William Byron is back out front with the 22 behind him. He's got about a 1.5 lead. And then Austin Dillon in 3rd place.
Just showed you how much faster tires are. I mean, he was literally in the way. Got moved.
22 and 3 is the best battle on the racetrack. 2nd place. Traffic ahead. Harrison Burton to the inside. And Todd Gilliland. Now, before pit stops, Byron's lead was 3.1 seconds over Logano. With the pit stop, the 22 team cuts that lead in half. Laps to go. Have we seen the last pit stop of the night? We'll see.
The largest gig speed network. It's so fast, it's game on for the whole house. Okay, you spent way too much time rehearsing that. The champ here, his gig speeds run on Can't Catch Me Wi-Fi.
Caution is out.
Fast? Let's leave them in the dust fast.
What's up?
Nice, Noah, but we're talking about extended
Caution for
X
Denny
time.
Hamlin.
It's fast like take home the
What
checkered
happened?
flag fast. Can your internet do that?
Sure, McDonald's breakfast is good.
Danny Hamlin lost fuel
Getting
pressure.
McDonald's breakfast 2 minutes before it stops being
Did he just
served.
slow down? Is it like what happened to Kurt Busch last week?
With Armor All, a little bit of this
Game winner for Javier Baez.
protects you from a lot.
Oh man, I love fucking Javi, bro.
Armor All, minimum
Oh!
protection.
Call Logano. Hey, Joey, you can save money if you fill up a shell if you use advanced auto parts speed perks. Dude, I'm way ahead of you. You saved at the pump? Yeah, I saved at the pump. The pump? The pump. I saved at the pump.
That's cool.
Now you can save at the pump.
Yeah, so caution is out for Denny Hamlin. I don't really know what happened. All I know is that he lost fuel pressure and he had been dealing with it for a number of laps. So that's why we're under caution. I don't know other than that what's happened. I haven't been able to watch a baseball game. Really, me neither yet. Like, I watched most of the Red Sox game during work yesterday, but, like, I also had to do work, so I wasn't, like, paying 100% attention to it.
Crispy, golden, perfectly salted McDonald's quality.
And then today I didn't watch, so.
Just one. Who are you?
Was that a catch or home run? That wasn't a home run, but it was a base hit. That was a walk-off. Oh, debris.
And Kyle Busch are coming to pit road. The big winner here is Eric Jones, who had not
Is that rain on the lens?
185, so he is in 12th place.
I thought we were done with that.
And pit road not very busy, only about 6 takers. Jamie.
And Kevin Harvick, taker on this stop. You know, he just came in and got those fresh tires. They opted to come in. The rest opted to stay out. Let's go to Regan.
18 car Kyle Busch pitted. They felt like they were going to drag a lot of the cars behind them down pit road. That did not happen. He's been tight all night long. And Chase Elliott, the discussion with him and Alan Gustafson was, we can't win the way we are right now. We might as well try something.
17 cars in the lead lap. I also would have expected more of those guys to have pitted right there. Pretty interesting. But
And you called it. Brad Keselowski gets the free pass on this one.
Oh, shit.
And earlier on the green flag stop, Christopher Bell's team was over the wall too soon. That's why he is back in 19, 1 lap down. 2 exciting weeks coming up for Fox NASCAR coverage. Here's a preview.
Easter Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Head on down to the Bristol Motor Speedway. It's a half mile of dirt so dusty it'll make your vacuum puke. Oh, but that's
Rain is falling, I believe that.
The track's so long you'll need binoculars.
Dot on cam multiply.
Just to see the finish line. The speeds are different.
I want to see the finish.
But the fun.
Like, I feel like now it could get good. Go Angels. You want the Angels to win? Go Bubba Wallace. Elliott and Kyle Busch on pit road.
You couldn't have 2 more different weekends.
Oh shit, yeah, it's raining.
That dirt race next week, I'm telling you, you want to talk about unknowns? We are going into that race with more unknowns.
But it might just be like a little short one. Like, I feel like this won't end the
I
race.
cannot wait to get there and call that race and watch it all unfold. And then Talladega, you want to talk about wild. Everything's wild at Talladega, from the infield to the racetrack.
Yeah, like it's not even showing up on the radar.
Challenge is back this year. Visit
So, if it is, like,
vote for your favorite NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series track. Each vote enters you for a chance to win.
it's not raining. I thought I saw rain on like multiple camera lens, but
Ryan Blaney to be fourth on this restart. Now, Byron, ahead of Logano, does not have a teammate behind him. Which lane do you want for this restart?
Yeah, you're going to take the bottom. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm going to suggest the bottom. Driver, what do you think?
Good going, Chad.
This is the first time I think you're going to see this whole choose cone thing be such a valid.
Maybe it's dirt. There's no dirt. Winval, it's fucking not a dirt race.
We saw Ty Gibbs choosing that outside, getting himself 2 or 3 spots this time. Another caution, 2 or 3 spots the next
Yeah, I don't
time.
think it's raining.
Obviously getting himself into a situation.
That's glare.
Where he was a conversation for the win. But I'm telling you, the gloves are off, boys. This is the one thing this race needed to turn it on end.
All right, well, I'm glad. I wanted to see the end of this race. So
What is the answer? Are you going to the top or are you going to the bottom?
No way.
I feel like this is where the race gets good.
That's shame on me. You passed me on the outside. Congratulations, you earned it.
What a beautiful sight, Martinsville Speedway. From our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Anything can happen as long as you have the drive. Goodyear, more driven. You think you've seen bumper tags so far tonight? We're just getting started.
Better give those belts a little bit of a tug here before you get to this next restart, guys.
I know a crew chief used to say that a lot on Fox. They will choose this time in what could be the final restart of the night.
Could be, but I don't think it will be.
Smirk, smirk.
You know, it's still 82 to go. You know, you finally get this caution that we all long for, right? And now you get all excited. It isn't like it's just time to take the gloves off, like I said, so to speak. Hey, you see it right there. Watch this choose. And I think back here is where this really gets interesting.
With zero. Both on the inside, leaving the outside roll for Austin Dillon. The 24 is the control.
Sheena,
car.
why are
He has
you
to
laying
fire
on the
off
floor?
first. That is going to make
There's a
Dillon's
much
job
more
on this
comfortable
restart
bed.
very difficult.
But he gets, if he can get
And you're
himself
laying
in
on the
position,
floor.
what I mean by that, just
I don't
inches in
understand
front of
you
him,
sometimes.
you can crowd him
Like,
down.
sometimes
And
you
if
really
he gets loose
confuse me.
underneath of you, that's all it takes
Like, your
for you to take
remedies
that
just
lead.
don't make sense.
That 22 is in a position right now to go 3 wide down the back straightaway.
I did that once, Chad. It did not work, for you or me.
We'll listen to Brandon Benash, Austin Dillon's spotter, on this restart.
Back green. William Byron and Austin Dillon racing for the lead. William Byron's going to pull away, but oh no, Austin Dillon stays with him. I don't know, though. I don't think he can pass him on the outside. All right, William Byron pulls away. April 17th, Bristol.
Dillon used up a little quarter.
He went on smoke right now. How can a top 3 team have a 30th place car? Yeah. I saw him say that. I saw they said that on Twitter.
You're going to be into that car on the outside of it, and both of you will be around.
Push Ryan Blaney getting into it here. This is for 4th place.
The dive bombs are picking up.
Ooh, Blaney got a little. Oh shit. They're getting a little. They're getting a little funky right now. Oh man, Ross. Oh man. This is getting good.
I'm telling you, it's picking up.
And on the outside,
oh man, this is getting good.
Just took tires.
Oh man, this is getting good. Syndic's being an idiot.
Him, Elliott, Harvick, Jones, and Busher.
If he fucking wrecks Kyle, I will fucking kill him. I won't actually kill him. I'll just like bitch about it for a few minutes, but still.
Everybody else on his tires, he's taking advantage of it. And right now is when you need to make hay with those tires. You gotta go get away, got the opportunity.
Everyone's getting wacky, yeah. Damn, what's going on? Good racing right here. Finally bought. You know, Winval, I kind of don't hate seeing them. Like I like when you block them because they are stupid and like it's annoying, but sometimes it's also funny, just because like it just reminds us of the good times of the streams.
Where did Eric Jones come from?
Got himself back on the first lap. He maintained that free pass position and then started coming forward. Ryan Blaney and Austin Dillon just ran their personal best lap of the race.
Like, they're funny sometimes.
Licking his chops right now. As good as he's been on the long run, he's hoping this thing goes green for the next 72 laps to get himself in position to go there.
Austin Dillon is staying with Byron though.
He's matching lap time right now within 100th of a second.
You're right, and it's almost to the lap in his favor. It's exactly, if you look, the 70 to go, you know, that was right back in his wheelhouse when he really did shine. And by the way, he's holding serve, like you say, to him on the short run. So if he can stay this close, don't overdrive this car. Don't forget what got you here, Austin. You've got to make sure that you manage this situation just like you have every other long run. Let that car do the work and afford you that opportunity that has every single stage.
Here's Austin Dillon's night at Martinsville.
It's fun to see them try to start small talk. Yeah.
Coming up to second place here with 70 laps to go. Lacking just 0.4 of a second of the lead, which William Byron has held 3 times for a total of 140 laps here.
How about this? Kurt Busch and his 45 car has been all over the place, digging, grinding this race out, now in the top 5. Great comeback. Good day for Kurt Busch. Good weekend overall for 2311.
Yeah, it is a good day for Kurt Busch.
These drivers are shifting 4 times a and it's just added a whole new dimension to racing here at Martinsville.
Did you hear the difference in the driving styles? It's the first time I've really paid attention to Kurt. He's downshifting right dead smack in the middle of the corner. Everybody else is using that downshift, getting into the corner to slow it down. He reaches seat, car is completely calm, almost right before he's back to the throttle, reach over and downshift. That's drastically different than anybody else we've seen.
And that's saving your tires also, right? Yeah. That's helping it. It's not shocking the rear suspension. It's not blowing the rear tires off and sliding them through the center of the corner. He's not using the gear to turn the car. So that means his car's handling really, really well.
It also means it's another adjustment you do in a car if that thing's loose in. If that thing's loose in, don't entice that thing to be worse off by, like you said, shocking those rear tires with the massive downshift.
Well, he is gaining on Joey Logano. 3rd to 4th there, as William Byron leads Austin Dillon by 0.7 of a second.
Kurt with the MMM car, what?
A car number 3 won a cup race in Martinsville. That was Dale Earnhardt. Austin Dillon was 5. 64 laps to go. William Byron out front in Martinsville, Virginia on FS1.
I'd love to see Austin Dillon win. Okay, they're going side by side.
A new era of pro football beginning in April. The USFL officially kicking off.
McDonald's Money Lion Monster. What?
The bottom line is we all love watching football. We're announcing the A coach. Good coaching.
I am so confused, Jaden.
Now, spring football is back.
Aw, Sheena. She's so sweet. Oh, this guy'll love a NASCAR, a commercial during a NASCAR race, like watching a NASCAR race, and then you see a commercial for another
of all
NASCAR
the tracks, there's only one monster, the Monster Mile. Dover Motor Speedway, April 29 through May 1.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush. Feel
Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Hill. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Life.
And I walk out, and my car is dented.
Well, Geico does offer 24/7 claim service with personalised attention from an assigned team.
24/7? That's a lot of attention.
They're not actually with you 24/7. They're just available whenever you need them.
Oh, okay, good. Because I took an online quiz, and it turns out I'm an introvert.
I actually think I'm an introvert too.
Oh no, it's incredibly rare.
I don't think that's right.
Sorry.
Okay.
Geico, your claims team is here for you.
I'll just look up Kurt Busch's paint scheme.
Look, I only get one race a year to shine. I mean, I'm literally dirt. And I see you with your fancy next-gen cars and championship aspirations. I'm just here at Bristol with 20,000 truckloads of my best friends to make your Easter Sunday eventful. Yeah, sure, you're the best drivers on Earth, but I'm actual Earth. And now, you're down here with me, under the lights. Game on, baby. The Nascar Bristol Dirt Race, Easter Sunday.
Money Lion Monster. McDonald's. He's driving the MMM scheme. It's dark here. Then turn a light on. Like, what else? What do you mean to say? Just turn a light. If it's dark, turn a light on.
And which of this year's winless drivers will finish ahead of the others? Hendrick Motorsports has led all but 6 laps tonight, and those 6 laps were all during the green flag pit stop cycle. Ryan Blaney led 5 and Austin Dillon 1. The gap is 1 second. Byron Dillon. Joey Logano another 0.8 of a second back. And Kurt Busch, trying to gain a little ground, has cut it to 2.5 seconds. On the other side of the ledger, Kevin Harvick, 16th place, Jamie.
Sheena.
Kevin Harvick says he is just plowing tight.
Sheena. Why are you sleeping on the floor when the bed is so much more comfortable?
Moments ago.
Well, like, come lay on my lap. We could cuddle, Sheena. Come here. Sheena, come here. Come here, Sheena. Sheena, come here. Yeah, Sheena, come here. Sheena, come here. Oh my God, she's so
Tempers,
come here.
Everything needs to be in the brakes here at Martinsville, and it's really
stop
difficult
just being annoying
to try to help your driver out. It's a new race car. We don't really know from a crew chief perspective what we can do and a little bit of adjustments that we can have.
Sheena!
We haven't had caution. Not a lot of caution to work on your race car.
Who's a good girl? Come here. Yeah, Sheena. No, come all the way over here so I can pat you with love on you.
And you want to talk about frustrating?
You know what, Sheena? You know what's happening right now? Hey, Sheena. How am I gonna do this?
It's the new car blues. We've never been to Martinsville with this brand new next-gen car, and it's a learning process for everybody. Some lessons are easier learned than others.
They are. The thing you've got to be cautious with in these types of situations is you can't take it apart, right? You got a crew chief. You've got hundreds of folks that are building the race cars. You've got, some engineers and mechanics and spotters and everybody, and you've got to be really cautious about what you lash out at. I've been guilty of that myself, of saying things on the radio that I shouldn't.
You know, you heard me earlier talk about Austin Dillon, and I was honestly talking to myself. I've been out there in this situation before.
What are you doing?
It's so easy to get enticed
Okay,
into
bye-bye.
racing a different
It was
racing
fun
setup
sitting with
that
you.
I've noticed his foot brake flow is really low. Never saw that on these long runs. His car was turning free. It was effortless. Now the brakes are glowing, and I've seen the 22 car right behind him.
See, Oakley would have sat here, but she would have chewed on my face. So, I don't know what's better.
agree, but this is a conversation I've been watching a lot of, and I feel like maybe the
she's sitting right next to my chair.
trying to keep up with the pace of that 24 and may not have this long run result this
You're a
time.
good
like
girl,
he's had
Sheena.
every other run.
Only 45 laps to go.
Jamie?
But you're exactly right. We keep hearing Austin Dillon on the radio as the run goes on, man. The car's getting good, but not this time. He said, I'm starting to slide the front end through the corner, something I haven't heard from the 3.
So when that thing slides the front end, what do you have to do? You have to hold that brake pedal just a little bit longer because it won't roll the center. You have to slow the car down. That's where the brakes are glowing from. Then the tire pressures build up. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Austin Dillon has run more laps in the top 5 tonight than in his...
I don't know. I feel like if we get another caution, Austin Dillon could like actually take the lead. Too bad we don't have Newman to like block Byron and just make this race more interesting.
That is his safety valve. That is his turkey popper. Whatever it is, that is what the...
This is one of the moments you miss Newman.
To let it steam off.
That's right. I've always called it the pop-off valve. It finally released.
Yo, this is one of the moments I miss Ryan Newman. Because like if Ryan Newman was here, you would be fucking blocking William Byron. William Byron has like a 2.5 seconds lead. He'd be blocking William Byron in lap traffic. And then he'd be like making it harder. And then like the race would get better. And then Austin Dillon would catch up and just battle it for the lead. It'd be kind of fun.
But look how he was slow rolling the center. Yeah. That's what is so important here. You have to have that car stop, rotate, change directions, we can get back on the gas, and that's what this 24 car is doing better than anybody else out there.
Now the difference was only 6/100ths of a second that lap, but you keep doing that, and that's how William Byron builds that lead.
That's not to say, and again, look at Austin Dillon. I think he's made those corrections. I think his team, his crew chief, they can all acknowledge that. They see in the SNT data. The spotter on the roof sees those rotors glowing. Don't think for a second that those guys haven't relayed that information. Make some adjustments inside that car, and now you see some gap, some real estate back in between him and that 22 of Joe Logano in his mirror.
Now that time, Austin Dillon picked up 9/100ths of a second on Byron. So the gap is 1.6 with 38 laps to go. We'll go Fox side by side one more time.
Across the line. Oh, but I'm not that old, young. I'm not that bold. I don't care. Just doing what we're told. I feel something so wrong. I'm doing the right thing. I feel something so wrong. Baby, I feel I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been feeling hard. Say no more counting dollars. We'll be counting stars. Take that money, watch it burn. Take to the river, let's burn. Take that money, watch it burn. Take to the river, let's burn. Everything that kills me makes me realize I've been losing sleep, thinking about the things that we could be. I'm sorry. I'm just vibing.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive.
I'm just having a good old time. No, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not sorry. I will sing if I want to. This is my house.
No matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of boot camp or a petty officer from 73. And even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who honorably serve.
You might get killed in the next hour or so. Well, if that happens, you might want to like call the police if that's like the case. You're not lying to me. If that's like a possibility, I personally would recommend maybe calling the police. If it's like a thing that's like up with your body, like maybe call an ambulance. If yeah, I mean that's just my personal advice.
Or that. We'll get ready for this, and a whole lot of this.
Jeffrey.
I am Full Throttle. I am Nascar.
30 laps to go in Martinsville. The USFL is coming next Saturday. The historic inaugural game as the New Jersey Generals take on the Birmingham Stallions is on Fox and NBC. Next Saturday, 7:30 Eastern Time.
Looking forward to watching that. Man, I've been saying it. You know, are you a gladiator or a stallion? I just took a liking to the stallion boys, and I'm ready to watch them do some
Someone
work.
broke into your sister's
It's
house,
gonna be a lot
bro.
of fun to follow along.
Call the fucking police.
William Byron.
Like, I'm sorry, bro, but like you need to call the police.
Joey Logano closing on the second place car. Kurt Busch 3 seconds back.
Yeah, but we're gonna deal with it. I mean, I get that, and I understand where you're coming from, but it's better to call the police.
If the caution comes out right now, what do we do? Are we going to come down pit road? How do we make an adjustment to make sure we've got the short run speed if we do? Or is somebody like the 9 car who pitted a little bit after everybody else, does he say, you know what, we're not going to win the race if we come down pit road behind everybody else? Do we stay out there? Do you get 4 or 5 other guys to do that? You've got something to completely.
You're going to?
Now, of the
Good.
cars that came
But
in
like
and took tires
now.
at laps 3:14, are we surprised that Kyle Busch, his march forward stopped at 9th place, Chase Elliott's at 11th?
Everyone drop a like on the stream. I would really appreciate it. I want to thank everybody for joining tonight. It's actually been really fun. Even though some people don't think the race has been that good, I've just had a lot of fun still watching it and just having you guys along. So thank you guys for joining. Drop a like on the stream if you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, well, actually don't drop a dislike anymore because I can't even see how many dislikes there are. I miss when you could actually see how many dislikes there were. But if you disliked it, I guess drop a dislike.
Exactly right. You know, you look at 18 drivers on the lead lap. Everybody has a lot of laps on those tires, but I think you would definitely have some roll the dice and say, you know what, if we just follow the leader, that's what we're going to do is follow the leader. I think you definitely would have some stay out.
And if you're the first guy that stays out, you're just trying to get your brother.
You've not watched about 100 laps. Well, you haven't even been watching this race?
You can jump if you want to. I ain't jumping with you.
Leader in heavy traffic, William Byron. If you're into numbers, the 24 and the 3 are running 1-2. That's how they finished here in 1999. Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt finished 1-2 in those same car numbers. Driving for those same teams, Hendrick Motorsports and Richard Childress Racing. After that shot from Logano, Dillon has picked it up. He's now working race traffic, and he's got the lead down to 1.3.
I'm telling you, I'm liking the adjustment that Austin made in that car. I don't know, you know, I didn't hear that, but I just feel it, and I sense it. I look at his brake rotors and how he's making these laps. I think this car is coming back to him a little bit. And this is exactly where it did. This part of the run, that 20 to, 15 to 20 laps at the end of every run, that thing's been extremely strong, and he's done it in traffic. Which, by the way, is exactly what they have. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, sure did. After that bump and run, Chase Elliott got past Tyler Reddick, and it brings Elliott back into the top 10, though it took him 50 laps to do it.
Boring race before I fly. Bro, just watch the race next week.
This is why you better start making your plans on what you're going to do for your tire strategy, because things are definitely heating up.
Oh. 17 to go, and Dillon lost a lot of ground on that lap in traffic. And Logano is right there.
You don't understand, I
I'm
can't.
not sure the 8. He's
Bro.
getting really loose off the corner. I don't know if that left rear tire's down.
Just
but
pay for the
extremely loose.
Wi-Fi. Bro, I'll fucking pay for the Wi-Fi so you can watch
The
it.
last 3 or 4 corners.
Because I want you to be able to watch it. So I'll fucking pay for the Wi-Fi.
Right there.
I mean, you pay for it and then I'll just fucking give you money.
Here's a replay of 2 laps ago.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Just loose off the corner. But he's not only loose off the
Because
corner.
I want you to be able to watch the
Getting in the
race.
corner as well.
We've heard a couple of drivers today talk about they beat up the right rear tire. Once you beat it up, you can't get it back. And if you continue to abuse it, which he is right now, as he's hung on the outside of the racetrack, outside groove, man, you're not going to do any good.
Don't have PayPal.
We mentioned earlier
That make PayPal. Or Venmo. No, don't use PayPal. Use Venmo or Cash App.
Tough night for team number 11. 13 laps to go. In 6
What I
of
miss?
this
I haven't
year's
watched this
7
lap
races.
200.
The final pass
Not much, really.
for the win.
I mean, Denny Hamlin had a little issue.
Christopher Bell trying to overcome a penalty on the green flag pit stops back there in 20th. And also the 41 of Cole Custer, who ran 185 laps in the top 5, also trying to overcome a penalty.
And a lot of cars getting moved out of the way. Patience is running thin with these guys. We got to see a caution.
10 to go next time by.
Right now, with 10 laps to go, you've got half of the guys just dogging, trying to get that position ahead of them, and the other half of the guys saying, can we get past these 10 laps and get this thing done?
Well, there's nobody saying that louder than William Byron in that 24. Yeah, how about this? Ty Dillon. Man, old brother's running second. Look up on that scoreboard in the center and see that 24. Do you hold him up?
Well, it's a Byron sandwich between the 2 Dillon brothers.
Xfinity. Oh, Xfinity was way better.
2.8 seconds. Byron to Austin Dillon.
It's been the most boring race I've seen in a while, to be honest. I mean, there has been fun parts of it, but like
Dillon's second place
overall,
to
this
be
race
in
has been pretty
jeopardy.
fucking boring.
Joey Logano, just about 4 car lengths back in the second place car.
Hopefully, we can see some action here.
For Rudy and that 24 team, just watching this stuff click over.
But I doubt it.
And Blaney within a car length from 4th place too. Here's Blaney to the outside. Traffic ahead for those 2.
Kyle Busch in 9th.
Double wide in front of them.
Yeah, Blaney's putting the bumper to him big time.
This lap traffic really coming into play here.
Oh, caution is out.
Could you yell at Justin?
David Gilliland.
Caught me off guard.
Or Todd Gilliland, sorry.
Holy cow.
It's Jamie's birthday. I think Clint just
Oh
got
my
birthday.
boys. Let's well. Let's see what happens.
Locking up that left front tire, getting into the corner.
The finish is gonna be good.
Holy cow. This race just turned on in. You said it. All right. Everybody pitting. Anybody gonna chance it and stay out? What are we doing, Chad?
I mean, fuck it. Either way, we get to see a good finish. Unless if it's not a good finish at all, and it's just a lame finish.
In that group, they're a gambler. Ross Chastain, that one group, they're gambling.
Yeah, okay. The hardest part is to take that guy off a point, that 24 car. That is the hardest decision to make as a crew chief. What is that guy going to do?
I have been in this position exactly with Rusty Wallace behind us when I was crew chief on the 48 car. We stayed out leading the race. I'm thinking, man, we got this thing with just a handful of laps to go. Everybody on the racetrack pitted behind us.
Right. Everyone.
Everyone.
You were the lone soldier out there.
It didn't look good. We didn't even make it past.
Well, the green light's on, boys. We're going to see right here.
Kyle Larson gets the free pass.
Rudy's staying out. So
Kyle Larson gets the free pass. The last time we had this few cautions at Martinsville was 1977.
Damn!
Oh, look at that. 18 car, first one to bite.
Why?
Ninth place, Kyle Busch comes down pit road.
And he definitely got speeding on pit road.
Among the lead lap cars, Kevin Harvick.
That sure caught me off guard. It must have caught me off guard because it caught both crew chiefs off guard. No gamblers. Larry?
Yes, Clint.
You told me. We're gambling. Honestly, that caught me completely off guard.
I think everyone at Martinsville Speedway, including all the teams, every single person at Martinsville Speedway right now, just got insanely high. And everyone's just being an idiot. And that's why Todd Gilliland crashed.
Boy, the choose cone decision is lighting up.
What are you going to do?
Taking the bottom on the 24 for sure.
Because Todd Gilliland got insanely high. Everyone there is just insanely high right now.
Outside again. Didn't work all that well on the last restart.
How bad do I want to win this race? If to win, well, you're gonna say the goal is, say you know you're gonna have to rough this guy up to win. Your only chance of doing that is to choose on the inside and push him out of the way. Hate to say that and be that way. Don't even try to dive underneath of him. Trust me, I've tried that before. That does not work. You're going to have to push him out of the way. It's going to be an ugly move. There are going to be a lot of haters, but you might be in victory lane because of it.
Well, we are going to NASCAR overtime. Green-white checker. Most of the lap
17 viewers in the stream. Thank everybody for watching. I really do appreciate it.
206 laps.
It's been kind of a long night. We had the rain delay. Not that bad of a rain delay, but still annoying. But yeah, it's been pretty much a boring race, but I'm just happy that we had the late race caution, and I'm just happy that you guys will enjoy the stream. Is that rain on the lens again, or is that like just fucking...
I'm quite certain that's what's going to happen with those front two cars. I want to know, where I'm at is what Logano's going to do, what Kurt Busch is going to do. Those are the two that I feel like really have a chance of taking that outside, option and going for it, trying to pin them down on the outside. All it takes, just like I said, Austin had a great jump on that last start. He really did, almost to the point of my man, don't get out too far, because it was really close. Whether or not maybe a decision to be named.
I don't know, but I feel like I see it.
All you got to do is get a little bit of an edge, get that car loose underneath of you, and you're going to come off the 2 in the lead.
Last night's Xfinity race, it was a cold, cool night like this one. And
nobody's saying the rain on Twitter. Maybe I'm just high.
Brandon Jones in the 19 restarted third, but Sam Mayer, Ty Gibbs got together, and Jones from third on the restart went to victory lane, while Ty Gibbs unloaded on Sam Mayer.
Point is exactly what I said. I watched that race back there in my bus. He started third and moved him out of the way, and that guy ended up in a fight, and the other one was in victory lane. That quick.
So if you're not in victory lane, do you fight?
My mama told me nobody wins in a fight.
Well, I've seen you fight.
You ain't really ever seen me fight.
I saw you scrap at Phoenix one year, I think.
That was, we couldn't find it.
Our choose is coming this lap.
Oh, man.
The first race William Byron attended was right here, this race in 2006. Then he went on iRacing, and 6 years later ran his first race in a Legends car. There are his parents, and he's been setting records in this sport ever since.
Those are two big supporters of his. They fly all over the United States to watch him race. Here we go. What's going to happen, Clint? 24 to the inside.
What I said.
So the key factor here.
How about Kurt Busch going to the inside with the two of them, and Logano outside with his teammate Blaney?
Everything, it takes me right back to the Xfinity race. I'm telling you, the 3 car is going to have to be aggressive with the 24, and if he does, that opens the floodgates for Kurt Busch to repay the favor and knock the 3 out of the way and win this race. I don't know. That ain't the way.
All right, here we go. Shit's about to go down.
That's the way things are now.
There will be.
I swear that bot and said they need to clean the cameras. Yeah. Hoping Kirk can get it done.
It is Credit One Bank overtime. Green, white, checker. Byron versus Logano in the front row. Here we go.
Back green. Here we go.
Not the best for Austin Dillon. I don't think he's going to be there to make the move.
Byron clears Logano. Dillon in third.
William did a great job.
Coming to the white flag.
He takes the white flag.
1 lap to go.
Next flag and it's over.
He is. He's in the back of him.
Shots fired on turn 2.
Really good defense.
But it's not going to be enough.
I don't think he can get to him.
William Byron is going to win at Martinsville.
Takes me back. What won him that race with the jump? He swung them way down.
Dominates.
Austin Dillon didn't
And he
quite have
wins
time,
at Martinsville.
And it actually caused a lot of them to spin the tires, including that 3.
You don't like William Byron?
Went off and won this race. Great job, William Byron. Did everything right.
William Byron for Raptor Bedliner, Team Hendrick Motorsports, and Team Chevrolet will go to victory lane for the 4th time in his 152 race career.
What about Ross Chastain coming back and getting the top 5?
Logano second, Austin Dillon third, Ryan Blaney, Ross Chastain. Then the Busch brothers, Kurt and Kyle, Eric Almirola, Chase Briscoe, Chase Elliott in the top 10.
A lot of highs and a lot of lows in this race.
William Byron has become this season's first 2-time winner.
Byron breakout season incoming.
The fall race in 2019.
I think so.
And all 4 of his wins have come not only on different tracks, but on different types of tracks.
Look at that man. He wins. He wins it at Martinsville.
One here on Thursday in the Truck Series race. Evercars.com on that car. Another victory here Saturday night.
Gotta love it.
It really blows my mind, you know, his path. It tells you just how things have changed in the sport. I mean, he didn't grind it out on short tracks, come from go-karts, go through the stepping stones of NASCAR.
Larson will win the rest of the season. You think he's going to win every single race for the rest of the year?
Riggin Smith.
Well, William Byron, a huge embrace with his pit crew just a moment ago on his way to get the checkered flag. William, your crew got you the bleed at the end of stage 2. You did the rest all night long. You had to fend off a late race restart. Didn't place a wheel wrong all night long. How good does the feel to win in Martinsville?
Yeah, it feels awesome. You know, I knew when that last caution came out, we were probably, you know, I thought everyone behind us would pit, and luckily, you know, we stayed out. We were aggressive. We felt like we could refire on the tires and be okay. And you got one of the most aggressive guys behind you in Logano, and I knew, like, I chattered the tires in 3 and 4 and kind of left the bottom open, but was able to kind of block my exits and get a good drive off. So this one's for my mom. You know, she last time this same weekend last year, she had kind of a mini stroke and was diagnosed with brain cancer. So it means a lot to have her here.
He finished outside the top 15 more times than he finished inside the top 15. Really?
Thanks everybody for the support.
I wish gets 7th. That's good.
So cool to have her here, and definitely
Love to see that.
She was definitely right with you. As a matter of fact, on the pit box all night long. A lot of smiles. What do you think that moment's going to be like when you see her in a moment here?
Man, it's going to be awesome. I love my parents. They've been so supportive, but also kind of let me grow up as I get older. So, yeah, I got a great support system. Thanks to all the fans for coming out. Great crowd. Always wanted to win at Martinsville. Got 2 clocks this weekend, so I enjoy that.
William Byron gets the grandfather clock.
So William Byron wins at Martinsville.
One spot short. And Joey, you rallied there. You had a run for it at the end, but with so many unknowns.
Waste of my time. Shh, it's NASCAR.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good race down to the end. Really hard to
It's
pass.
still NASCAR, so I still enjoy it.
Restart before that. I think I chose the wrong lane and got the 3 in front of me. And I just got stuck behind him, couldn't pass him, and maybe I could have had something for the 24 in that long haul, if not. But just that final restart there, had a front row. It's what you can ask for. Got cleared to second, and William kind of messed up off of 4 and let me get to him. He did a really good job at brake checking the 2/3, right? Which is, it's a good job. He did what he's supposed to do, and kind of got me all stuffed up behind him, and I couldn't accelerate off the corner.
No crashes be good drivers. Yeah.
To execute the old bump.
Except for Todd Gilliland.
Couldn't get to him, but his corner entry was really strong too, which I think allowed him to get in there pretty strong. So overall, the Shell Penzo Mustang had a solid run. Just hate being that close to winning and not making it happen, but big points today, and it just stings. Second just sucks. Sometimes.
Something for a better finish, but good for Byron. He wins this weekend. Yeah.
That's for sure. Let's take a look at the.
He won 2 out of the 3 races this weekend.
I take it right to this jump. Did a great job. See, look,
piece of drywall.
And he waited. Boom! There it went. See the 3 spins of tires behind him. Now the 3
piece of that's a piece of drywall.
The window. The battle's at 22.
I recommend you don't eat it.
William Byron had to focus on. When he cleared him right there, the race was his, unless that 22 knocked him out of the way and stole it.
Almost had an opportunity right here. Williams said he went in, shattered the tires, ran up the racetrack, jumped back to the throttle, car gets sideways. The 22's in position right here. If he really wants to get in there, he can knock him super hard. William backs it up a little bit, gets the car underneath him. That thing's all good.
I mean, hats off to Joey Logano.
I would have wrecked
He
him
was there.
for the win.
He got into him, let him know he was there, tried to do it again right there, but he didn't wreck him. He didn't knock him out of the way. It wasn't anything dirty. It was a good finish. It really was.
Raced him hard, but raced him clean.
That's right.
Having one of the best nights of his career was Austin Dillon. Here's Jamie.
Absolutely, and his best career finish here at Martinsville. And Austin, we didn't have to wait to the end to talk about you coming on. We talked about you all
right, y'all.
So are you excited where you
I'll tell you when I'm going to be live next week. I work 11 to 5 all next week. So for the truck race, which is on Saturday at 8, so I'll be live at 7:45 on Saturday. And the cup race is 7:30 or no 7 on Sunday, so I'll be live at 6:45. All right, everybody. I want to thank everybody for watching, and